Welcome Clash Royale fans from across North America. Today is the day. It is Elimination Day for North America. Millions of players have competed from around the world, and thousands from North America went through a bracket phase to get down to just these 16 players. We have the 12 winners of this fall's elimination bracket, combined with the 4 spring finalists that didn't make the top 2. The 4 that were not CMQ and Oxalate. We've got Rice, we've got Batman, Tin2, and Lucifer competing against 12 newcomers. We've divided all 16 players into 4 groups of 4, and they are going to play in a Swiss-style format to determine which 2 people from each of the 4 groups will make the 8 winners that we're going to have today. Those 8 winners are going to join CMQ and Oxalate as the fall season CCGS top 10, and those players will be competing for the right to move on to the World Championships. We're going to jump into our first game very soon, but remember, the first week of North American CCGS play is September 4th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so mark it on your calendars. The top 8 players from today will be joining the 2 champions from spring season, and we're going to see some of the best Clash Royale that North America has to offer. And here we are, kicking off the game. Now, Akrap has a balloon in his opening hand. Faker, it's Rice! Faker Rice Maker changed his name on us. He does have the Inferno Tower quickly in rotation, so any early balloon he does have an answer to. Throws an early Goblin Barrel, and check it out. Those bats defend. The log in Rice's hand tells me that those bats are going to cause problems all matchup because he doesn't have an easy zap to take care of them. He only has the log and the rocket for spells. Mini P.E.K.K.A comes at the river to chop that princess in half. Goblins in the middle should fight off both the Mini P.E.K.K.A and the Mega Minion flying across the middle. What will Rice do on the counterattack? Decides to invest a knight in the back to start building up a push. When you are Zap Bait or Spell Bait decks, you can attack really at any time. Oh, great play there! The Inferno Tower did come down, but the bats were already on the field. Inferno Tower's down. Oh, rockets the balloon and puts down the Ice Spirit. One shot from the tower takes it out, and Rice is able to do a great job keeping his tower, I don't want to say unharmed because that's a pretty harmed tower. It took about 800 damage, but it will live to fight another day. That Mega Minion's going to close in and get 2 swings on the tower, and now both of Rice's towers not looking very good while Akrap is in a strong position. We have more than half of regulation to go, though, and once again, the Goblin Barrel comes down. Fireball has to come out for Akrap because the bats were already used on offense to swarm and overwhelm the Inferno Tower, so he couldn't do that same sequence again of defending the Goblin Barrel with the the bats in the air, the air bats. Miner's going to come down and jump on that princess while also distracting the tower for the balloon, except that there comes the Inferno Tower down to block it. Zap resets it. The Ice Spirit keeps it just from getting there. We might see another Death Bomb explosion hit the tower. We do, and we are down into the teens for both of those. Knight's going to grab the tower while Goblin Barrel comes in. This time, bats are on the ready. They do get 1 stab in before going down, so 3 elixir for a couple hundred damage, not the end of the world. Princess is going to defend the bats and clean up that Mega Minion. Princess moving down the left side as Ice Golem goes on the right. Now, the goal here is to actually pull the Princess away. If she could, maybe feels a little further up, the Princess would have started shooting at the Ice Golem on the other side of the board and not actually locked onto the tower. Mini P.E.K.K.A makes that not needed, though. Ice Golem comes in to tank the tower, and once again, another rocket is going to hit that balloon, keep it from doing too much. The bats, though, close in. Knight has to come down to defend, and unfortunately, that's going to walk behind, letting the bats get on the tower. Princess comes by to clean up the bats, but that tower is down to triple digits for Rice. Akrap is looking to take game 1 of this series, but he has about 1,000 more health to go. Great preemptive Goblin Gang there. Twice now the Mini P.E.K.K.A has been killed, or has killed the Princess, so by putting the Goblin Gang down early, he gets in the way of the Mini P.E.K.K.A and forces bats to come out to stop it. Ice Spirit will hold that in place and do the damage necessary to keep that tower from taking any more damage. Akrap has to connect with either a balloon or some series of minor fireball plays, but he's using the fireball defensively to protect against it. Oh no! Mini P.E.K.K.A! Oh! Mini P.E.K.K.A gets 1 swing on the tower. Almost got a swing earlier, but an Ice Spirit came down to block that shot. Invaluable. Now again, this is actually kind of a bad matchup for Akrap. It really speaks to his quality of play that he's able to outplay it, because normally you would expect the deck that has the Inferno Tower to beat the balloon deck, but he's done a really great job sneaking these balloons through. This one's going to connect on the left side tower, and I think that is going to be it for Akrap because the death damage alone will take it down. Fireball weakens it. Boom! The bomb goes off. Akrap takes game 1 against defending spring season player Rice. Game 2 of Ah Crap and Rice. And remember, the winner of this moves on to the Swiss finals, where the one of these two players, if you win this match and win the next match, you're already locked in for fall. You don't have to worry about the rest of the tournament. You can take a big break. This time, we're seeing Ah Crap throw the Goblin Barrel and Rice defend with the bats. Electro Wizard's coming across, blocked by the Knight already. The Knight's significant amount of hit points is going to do a great job holding the line against that Electro Wizard, which, while it does a good amount of damage, it doesn't do so much to kill a Knight while the tower kills it. Princess is coming down the left side, Goblin Gang backing up. Goblin Gang going the opposite side of the Baby Dragon because the Baby Dragon counters it very well. So you see your opponent put down a Baby Dragon, you want to go the other way. Ice Spirit holds that Baby Dragon in place with the graveyard building up behind it. A log has to come down from behind, clearing out the skeletons, and now it's the Baby Dragon's turn to beat up on that tower. Baby Dragon doesn't have a lot of hit points, though. The tower will take it down pretty quickly, but not before the Baby Dragon gets 4 spits. Blech! 4 spits on the tower, bringing Ah Crap's tower down to 1133. Rice, though, his bottom right tower, pretty damaged as well, taking almost 1,000. He puts the preemptive bowler down to sort of prevent any Goblin Barrels. However, Ah Crap has a rocket in his hand that he launches right now. The rocket is going to land on that bowler and do a huge amount of damage, while also bringing that tower down to 1161 health. A answered poison on the other side for Rice pulls Ah Crap's tower into the triple digits. And great iffy tornado, I guess. I mean, the idea is to pull them down and away from the tower. You could have pulled them onto the King Tower to activate the King Tower. The downside is doing that, you're going to take a lot more damage because the goblins are all being pulled across the tower, getting a chance for some extra stabs. You pull them down like that, they're held away, and you kill them all, but you don't activate the King Tower. Ice Golem blocks that as the bats are going to try to clean up some of those remaining little goblins there. This time, once again, we see another Baby Dragon tanking for the tower as the graveyard is actually doing work. And this time, the tornado, no! It doesn't activate the King Tower! He pulled them to the side, but just a one tile too far up. That is 2 consecutive tornadoes that I think are a little disappointing for Rice. He really wanted to pull that off. He needs to win this game. The health is so close between them. But remember, Ah Crap won game 1. If Rice loses this game, he's out. We're going home. So we need to see some quality A+ comebacks here for Rice, or he's going to find himself in a tough position early on. Poison comes down there, clearing out the Goblin Gang, letting the Graveyard Skeletons get some damage on there. We have 25 seconds left in the game as that tower goes down. Tornado pulls them back away. There is 316 damage left. Now there is a rocket in Ah Crap's deck, so we can count that tower as dead, and we're going to go into overtime as the rocket takes it out. One princess goes down to the Baby Dragon. Ice Spirit plus the second princess is going to finish it off. 5 seconds until overtime. Both of the remaining towers are looking pretty strong. No one has a significant damage lead right now. But I think, oh man, both of these decks actually don't do very well in a one tower down situation. Goblin Barrel and Graveyard are cards that when the King Tower is assisting the Crown Tower and shooting, pretty ugly, right? You're not going to get a lot of Goblin Barrel swings or a lot of connected skeletons. I kind of want to say the Splash Yard deck has a little bit more of an advantage simply because it has so many tanky cards that can block it, but this is really anyone's game. Early Graveyard's going to come down and do a lot of damage to that tower. The Ice Golem in the middle held a ton of damage there, and wow, that one goes down to a 619. There is not a rocket in Rice's deck, but he does have poison, which he's only going to take 3 poisons to win this game if he can just play defense the rest of the time. Knight comes down to block. Bowler comes down, like I called it, to clear out that Goblin Barrel in one roll. And just like that, not a lot of damage has been done. Good game is coming out of Ah Crap. Looks like we're going to go to a game 3 in this matchup as Rice... Well, okay, so he's going to put down another Graveyard-style push. This time it connects once on the tower. Only needs to get one more down. Yep, pulls them all together. And the skeletons don't clear it up, but the poison does. So there we go, 1-1 in this game. Rice manages to tie it up against Ah Crap. Nova Ah Crap is one of the most experienced, most hyped players in the North American field. Definitely one of the favorites to move on out of his group, and he's going into a Game 3 against defending spring player Rice. All right, jumping into Game 3, there is a Hog in Rice's opening hand, and not a great answer in the opening hand of Ah Crap. I guess the Inferno Dragon is your best hope. If if Rice goes for a very quick Hog right here, he might find it to be pretty beneficial for him, but both players are sitting at 10 elixir, just letting it tick up. Not in any rush right here. In this level of gameplay, this quality of match. You don't want to make the first move if you aren't really sure what's going to come out the other end of it, because if you get caught behind, you're going to be in trouble. Early Hog does come out here, does not zap it, which is kind of a surprise. If he would have zapped that and reset the Inferno Dragon, there would have been a lot of opportunities for that Hog to do a bunch of damage, but I think that Rice did not want to overextend. He was happy with the 4-for-4 trade, getting 500 damage while spending the same amount of elixir and getting back on defense. Now with the Electro Wizard in the other lane though, this balloon is coming in harsh. And we got the bats played to surround it. Zap not played though, pretty shocking. Did not zap the bats. I guess he doesn't need to because he gets one drop, almost a second drop. And in the meanwhile, the P.E.K.K.A. takes the tower on the other end. The Electro Wizard held off for a while, allowed the P.E.K.K.A. to connect, and so far, Ockrap is looking not to be in a great position here. Wasn't able to stop that P.E.K.K.A. push. Obviously, the Mega Knight in his hand is a very expensive, but not a great answer. And now we've got an Electro Wizard resetting and blocking the Inferno Dragon for the counterattack. Now, both of Rice's towers have taken a bit of damage, so if Ockrap can take one of these two towers, he'll have a damage lead going into overtime. There is a chance for him to turn this around, but I said, like, a lot of it involves timing your balloon after a big investment on their part. Like, this balloon is kind of doomed because your opponent also had 10 elixir. But if he could have, say, played that in response to a P.E.K.K.A. coming down, you go, I know they don't have a lot of elixir, go in with the balloon. Same deal, Mega Knight is kind of an all-in-one push. He jumps, he does damage, he can take out a lot of stuff by himself. If you see a P.E.K.K.A. come down, well, then you can play the Mega Knight in the other lane and try to make some work happen. Just like that, like Ockrap is doing right now, because you don't want to run that Mega Knight into the P.E.K.K.A., and it looks like that's exactly what Rice is trying to do! He uses the Ice Golem to pull the Mega Knight to the other side of the board, and now the Mega Knight is in trouble because it's got to fight head-to-head, not just with a P.E.K.K.A., but with an Electro Wizard behind it, slowing it down. The balloon is coming in, he zapped by some time, lightning to slow it down. It doesn't quite make the whole path, but with the Inferno Dragon there and the Electro Wizard blocked by the Ice Golem, that P.E.K.K.A. goes down real hard, but it doesn't really matter for Rice at this point. He's just trying to stay alive a little longer, and now we have a defensive P.E.K.K.A. that's going to cause an absolute nightmare for it, and the Inferno Dragon goes down, which is horrible for Ockrap. Here in Game 3, 17 seconds until overtime, he has to take one of these towers, coming in with a balloon that might be his last hope, and the Lightning plus Electro Wizard stop the balloon. Good game comes out of Ockrap. Rice, defending spring player, shows that he is not going to get knocked out that easily and takes the first match over Ockrap, moving on to the next round of Group A. Starting off, J Monty is in red along the top and Diego B in blue along the bottom. This is both of these players are veteran tournament competitors. They've been playing in community tournaments for a long time. J Monty actually played, retired, and then came out of retirement. That's how long they've been in the tournament scene. Both of them have really waited for this moment, this long-awaited opportunity to show that they are among North America's elites, and I know both of them have been practicing very hard for this. Miner comes in on the left side, intercepted by the minions, but it's going to allow the Goblin to get up and get a stab in that tower. 22-36 in the top left tower. Minions are coming down the left side. Electro Wizard is going to intercept them and prevent them from doing any damage. A little bit of damage, one swing. Ice Golem coming in on the other side, but nothing backing it up. Bandit is coming in to do a charge, but is he going to break the... Oh, it does! It breaks through the Inferno Dragon's beam, connects with the tower to do a little more, and frees up that Electro Wizard to fight the Inferno Dragon. And I think we know the Electro Wizard wins that matchup, but not when a Mega Knight squishes you in the head. So Mega Knight's going to jump onto the tower. It's got the Inferno Wizard, or the Inferno Wizard Dragon, backing it up. Goblins come down to try to turn it around. The Miner comes in to further distract, and nothing is hitting this Inferno Dragon. Zap has to finally clear it up, but if you're J Monty, you are happy with that exchange. 8-18 on Diego B's tower. Well played comes out of Diego. A lot of sportsmanship here in North America, as J Monty takes about a 600 health lead over Diego B in this first game of their match. J Monty's looking like he's setting up a balloon push. He's hovering the Ice Golem, and it tells me that he's going to try to play a balloon shortly after, or wait. Puts the minions in the back to try to build up. Bandit comes down in the back for Diego B. Minions are obviously going to win that fight against Bandit, but maybe Bandit can charge into the tower first. Inferno Dragon's coming back. Cluttered up with the minions. That Bandit's going to connect unless Ice Golem comes down to hold it off. And still might connect. Ooh, very close, very close. Electro Wizard's coming down the left side to intercept the Inferno Dragon and neutralize it pretty much entirely. Great job with the Miner coming down to connect, and he has to respond with a poison to hold off that minion horde and goblins to distract the Inferno Tower. Great defense by Diego B. Very, very impressive. Took less than 200 damage despite that insanely big push coming at him. Mega Knight jumps right on the Electro Wizard again, and I'd like to see some P.E.K.K.A.s here out of Diego B. There it is. The defensive P.E.K.K.A., especially now that we're in double elixir time and he can afford to play P.E.K.K.A. and then other cards, is going to form a massive counterattack here. Goblins intercept the miner, keeping that tower above 600, 556 health at this point. But we have not much left, I guess, in that. Zap's going to clear out the rest of those minions. The bandit may come in and connect. It's nearly full health, but not if the Mega Knight has anything to say about it. Jumps right on her head. Jumps right on the Electro Wizard right after. Minions are down there to try and do some damage, but a defensive miner has to come out to draw that push. This Mega Knight is actually looking very good against Diego's P.E.K.K.A. deck. I really expected Diego to pull this game off, but J Monty with 6 seconds left crushes on that tower, outplays his opponent to take game 1 of the series. J Monty goes up 1-0. Game 2 opens up a little bit differently. J Monty has the Mega Knight in his opening hand that he made huge use of in the first game. We were seeing Mega Knight squish everything from like Electro Wizards to Bandits, and more miners were getting jumped on. So we'll see if J Monty wants to open up with aggressive play or defend a little bit. He's sitting there thinking, leaking Elixir, bad idea. The Goblins are splitting up, and it just seemed like he didn't want to commit to any play because then that card's out of your hand. Counterattacking with the balloon. We got the minions coming in with the balloon behind it. Electro Wizard drops, and the Electro Wizard's going to stop that miner balloon attack. Good game comes out of J Monty, but I wonder why. I wonder if he didn't expect him to play that P.E.K.K.A. deck a second time, but here we go. Bandit charges and connects, gets it down to 1776, 1606, going down even further. Maybe there was a mistake or misplayed card that I missed, but I feel like if J Monty just won this game with the matchup, he'd be excited to play it again. He does have multiple answers to the P.E.K.K.A. on defense, like Minions, Minion Horde, and Inferno Dragon. I think he's just got to catch a good timing. Miner intercepted by Minions. We'll see if another balloon comes down. No, this time it's Poison blocking that and probably stifling that push in its path. We get an Inferno Dragon coming back, and what Diego's trying to do is bait out the Electro Wizard. Like, watch, if he plays Electro Wizard in the right lane, it wouldn't shock me to see Balloon Miner in the left lane instead. No! Actually, he did it early without the Electro Wizard being out, and I think it's not going to pay off for J Monty. The Electro Wizard alone can counter the balloon, and it looks like it's exactly what it's going to do. Stops it early. It was close, though. Not the worst plan we've ever seen. J Monty's getting frustrated, though. I think he knows this is a bad matchup. Was just sort of hoping to catch it again, although we haven't even seen the Mega Knight P.E.K.K.A. interaction yet, but it's possible that J Monty is holding off his Mega Knights for that exact reason. Miner comes down on the right side, intercepted by the Inferno Dragon, but really any of those flying units, if you're a miner deck, you're okay with them blocking with a flying unit because that means that your miner is locking onto the tower and doing damage. Might do less than you'd want, but it's still something. Jumps on the Goblins. P.E.K.K.A. swings once, P.E.K.K.A. swings twice, and that Mega Knight's done, and that is a pristine-looking P.E.K.K.A. there. Electro Wizard's going to reset that Inferno Dragon and really cause some trouble. Minions come down to jump on that. Poison's coming through to weaken that balloon as the minions try to clear it out, but no, they get zapped off the board. One tower goes down, Diego B takes the tower, has to use another zap to defend, and at this point, with 22 seconds left, J Monty just might be out of this game because there's no way for him to do 2,000 health in the next few seconds. So Diego B is going to tie this up 1-1, makes the comeback to keep his hope alive, and we're going to a Game 3. Diego B and J Monty to decide who's moving on to play against Rice. Opening right up, J Monty has what he's looking for, which is a Hog Rider in the opening hand, and the Log and Ice Spirit behind it. So he might see a really aggressive Hog play here at 10, or he might wait. Again, J Monty doesn't know what his opponent's playing, so if it's a Mega Knight or P.E.K.K.A. deck, he's going to be in huge trouble, doesn't want to run that Hog out there. But little does he know, Diego B's actually not running either of those cards. So we'll have to see what he thinks. Okay, so here comes the Bandit out to block the Ice Spirit. Both players are really waiting, even spending that early 1 elixir, didn't want to follow up with anything else. Hog Rider's going to jump across. Minions are getting cleaned up and distracted by the other, and one Hog connects. 2 swings for that Hog Rider. Even though his opponent defended with 5 elixir to his 4 elixir, getting 2 swings has got to feel great. Princess is going to shoot across the field there and take out that Minion Horde, and now Princess is going to start working over the other lane. J Monty could put... he could put something in front of it, puts down perfect defense there, puts down the Ice Spirit, and then the Mini P.E.K.K.A. guards the Princess, so now she's locked onto the tower. And if you're Diego B, you're like, I gotta put something else down to figure this out. The Night Witch is going to eventually answer, but not after taking a bunch of damage on the tower. And on the left side, we're down to under 1,500 health as the Bandit answers the Hog Rider, but not before the Hog takes a couple swings. Ice Golem goes to block that, and unlike the first time we saw that play, there wasn't a Princess there to clean up the minions, but still, J Monty is perfect on both towers, pristine. Not looking good for Diego B in this deciding game, but this game can turn it around in an instant. If you see especially in double elixir time, something like Giant, Miner, Minion Horde, or Night Witch, that's an incredibly powerful push that's hard to stop with 2 tanks from both sides, one behind the tower, one in front, and very difficult troops to answer behind it. So we see a Giant invested by Diego B going down his weak side. He's hovering the Night Witch. Night Witch comes in behind it. Bandit looks like he's going to come in behind that to dash across, hit the Mini P.E.K.K.A, clean it up, doesn't take any damage. Miner comes in to hit that Princess, and now we've got a pretty good-looking Giant closing in on that tower. Minions come down to block. More minions come in to clean it up. One little bit of frozen, but that's a lot of damage coming in there on that tower. Diego B is pushing J Monty's tower down very low, and just like that, Diego B has taken the damage lead. This deck can turn it around in an instant. He even telegraphed that by putting his Giant far back in the lane. Bandit's going to cross and hit that Princess and start pushing on the right side lane. Diego B's got to, or J Monty's got to play some defense here if he wants. Gets Ice Golem up first to distract. Mini P.E.K.K.A chopping it down. The Ice Golem does not hold for very long, but the Mini P.E.K.K.A does exactly what it needs to do. Not only hits the Giant, but manages to take out the Night Witch right after before going down. Both towers are down to triple digits. We are 15 seconds away from overtime. Going in with the Mini P.E.K.K.A. We're going to see a Hog right after. There comes the Hog Rider, and oh no! The Bandit is already frozen and chopped up. The Princess takes it out! Hog Rider comes in, 1 swing! Princess hits, 2 swings! Princess is going to try to fire again, and the lightning comes down! J Monty takes it right at the start of overtime, winning the matchup 2-1 over Diego B. In the opening hand, Diego B has a Lava Hound, which is great for him, because if you hit 10, you want to start that push, but Akrap has an Elixir Collector. Let's see if they choose to do them at the same time, because if Akrap pumps, and then there's a lava push shortly after, that could hurt him. This double investment with both of them in the back actually might play out well for Akrap, because by the time this whole push comes back across the side, he's going to have at least 10 Elixir, but he opts to spend 4 in the right lane to try and push. The Bandit's going to lock on. The Mega Minion does get frozen for a hot second, allowing a lot of damage to get hit onto that tower, but here we are. We've got a Lava Hound. There's no balloon behind it. Minions are coming up behind to clear out the bats, but Ice Golem comes down to block the minions, which allows, ooh, actually pretty good outcome there. 3 Musketeers are played in the very back. Fireball's coming down. Is there a zap to follow it up? There is not a zap. The Fireball hits the tower and all 3 Musketeers. I don't see a follow-up spell, though, for Diego B. Meaning that if he can put a tank in front of these 3 Musketeers, they're going to be able to take a few pop shots. Tombstone comes down, the Skeletons pop out and take care of the remaining minions, but Akrap gets a second Elixir Collector out. He's double pumping there and sends in the Bandit plus Bats on the other side. Great timed zap, cleans them out, and the Bandit's going to lock on for a bit more damage. Minions clear him out. 1283 on Diego B's tower. I would say that Akrap has the damage advantage and the elixir advantage right now. It's looking pretty good for him. Does manage to get it down. There is the Fireball zap in the hand, but I think that was an aggressive balloon, and Akrap knew it, so he went ahead and played down his 3 Musketeers, doing the math in his head going, there's no way Diego B has Fireball zap as well as a balloon. He didn't have 11 elixir. That 3 Musketeer split goes very well, dealing damage to both sides, and another pump comes back out. We're about to hit 70 seconds left, which means that any new pumps at this point will not give you the full elixir by the time overtime hits. So if we see another pump out of Akrap, that's because he's confident we're going to go deep into overtime. But he might just try to go for the kill here. Only 1,200 health on both sides. Miner comes in, the Bandit's charging. I'm going to see another zap to clean it up, and the Bandit charges 700, 400, 200, 99, 35, dead. That tower goes down. There is 45 seconds left for Diego B to turn this around, and 2 Musketeers are standing in his way. 1 Fireball comes down for an insane value, taking out the pump tower and taking out a bunch of damage on them, but there's no zap. He used the zap defensively on the bats, and now those Musketeers are just wrecking it. Finally gets the zap down, but look at that. 3 Musketeers are already back up in Akrap's hand. You might see another set of 3 Musketeers coming out right now because he knows there's not another Fireball zap combination. They do come out in the middle, already split up. Fireball comes down to weaken the 2 on that side. They're going to shoot that balloon down, and even though there's only 596 left on that tower, I just don't know how Diego B can do it. He has so many expensive, heavy cards. There's not a lot of good options for him. Akrap is going to take this first game of the elimination set. 1 tower to 0. Game 1 starts off. Kind of a weird start for Diego B. He's got Fireball, he's got Zap, he's got double minions. We don't really want to run any of those cards out there. What you might see for Diego B is either minions at the river, or he just waits at 10 elixir for his opponent to make some sort of play. Princess comes back, and now Diego B at least has a pretty decent option. You can Fireball that. It's a -1 elixir trade, but you kill the princess and you do 200 damage to the tower, and we see an Ice Golem come out for aw crap. Diego B puts minions in the very far back. And it looks like they're both just building up for kind of a heads-on collision here. Diego B should be looking for opportunities to throw down something like a giant Night Witch, maybe. But with all these things coming heads up, it's kind of hard to do that. Night Witch comes down. And the nice giant blocks the minions, allowing the Night Witch to get some more bats going. And even though it takes quite a bit of damage, I think you're in pretty good shape. Miner jumps in the middle to absorb both towers' attacks. While beating up on the princess as well. But the mini P.E.K.K.A. chops that giant down, and this push is stopped before it can begin. Great job, though, on the minions taking out the mini P.E.K.K.A. Ice Spirit counters that. A lot of tit for tat, a lot of back and forth here. Crap's hovering his Hog Rider. Looks like he's going to try to set the Hog Rider attack right now. He's got Princess to back it up, and it looks like the Hog Rider's going to get one swing. Bandit's coming in, he's putting Princess in the other lane. And the mini P.E.K.K.A. comes down to block to stop any sort of bandit charge. And the princess's big splashy attack is going to take out what remains of the minion horde. And here we go. Elixir's pretty tied on both sides. Crap has a little less elixir, but he also has a princess on the board, so it's pretty even. But he has a pretty good damage lead, not just on the left side, where he's gotten that tower down to 1672, but that princess taking a few shots on the right side brings it down to under 2,000 as well. Night Witch is going to fight that Ice Golem, but looks like he didn't really intend on following that up. He sort of just spent it as a way to take out the princess. But that gives tempo back to Crap, who, with Diego B having to spend some of his elixir to counter that in the other lane, that gives a really good opportunity for Crap to set the pace of the game, constantly be like, I'm attacking when I want to attack, you have to defend with just whatever you have. Oh no! Oh, what a bad miner by Diego B! He meant to attack the princess, instead it hits the tower! And even though he gets a little bit of damage on there, that princess lives, and now we're starting to see the nightmare, which is built up princesses. Diego B has Zap, but not Log, which means that 2 princesses in the same lane can just cause all sorts of trouble and provide that supporting attack. Lightning comes down to take out the Night Witch, provide a little bit of stun, and getting more damage on that tower. The minions on that side are not doing very well. Ice Golem comes in to block for the princesses. Doesn't quite work, they both go down, but the mini P.E.K.K.A. is bought enough time to chop that thing in half, and Princess is in the opposite lane, doing what she does best, clearing out minion hordes. 1427 there on Crap's tower. Pretty good way to tie it up with only 534 on another tower. Crap has lightning. He only needs 2 lightnings to win, or really this lightning with a log. Can he stun the tower? No, he doesn't, but that lightning will not be enough. 347. So he's going to need another lightning log. Another lightning log will be enough to do it though, but Diego B has a big push coming in here. The mini P.E.K.K.A. chops up the bandit, chops up the Night Witch, but there's still 2 bats remaining. That tower is going down real quick. Great log there, not just to push the giant off the tower, but to knock it back into the mini P.E.K.K.A. Wasn't quite there yet. Great attack. If he can hold off this push by Crap, Diego B can turn around and win this game, tying it up 1-1. 1 tower shot comes down the line. Oh no, the giant comes down too late. The giant was meant to block the princess, came down too late. The princess damage plus a lightning takes it down. Diego B is the first North American player eliminated today. Crap survives another round. And starting off, J Monty has actually kind of a bad opening hand here. Doesn't have the Hog Rider that he wants. Doesn't really have any sort of offensive pushes unless he wants to do Ice Golem minions, which is pretty gross. So you might see him either invest an Ice Golem in the back to build up for later, or just wait for his opponent to make a move. Rice, same boat. He really wants to get the minions out of his hand so he can play the Lava Hound that's in that 5th spot, but do you want to spend the 3 elixir knowing you're going to get countered? J Monty goes ahead and puts the Ice Golem in the back. Rice meets him. That means Rice now has the ability to set up for a Lava Hound, and yet the Hog Rider is still a little bit further away. Neither player knows what the other one's running yet. Ice Golem is such a popular card in so many archetypes, neither have really revealed what kind of deck they're playing. But as soon as I see that mini P.E.K.K.A., I know it's a Hog Rider deck. So now Rice has some very good information to play off of. I think he could have dropped the Lava Hound, but if you do that, you just know that you're about to get Hog Road. Doesn't want to get Hog Road, but he's going to anyways. Here they come. Fireball is used very excellently on defense. Only 1 hit. Angry Face comes out of J Monty. Great job there by Rice. Hits the mini P.E.K.K.A., the minions, and the Hog Rider, doing quite a bit of damage. Here comes the Inferno Dragon locking in, but it gets intercepted by the Ice Spirit. Great job. That plus the Tower and Princess take it out. Not a lot of damage on an Inferno Dragon. You really have to tank for it, but if it locks onto a tower, it can ace it by itself. Electro Wizard blocked by the Ice Golem, which means that there's not even incidental damage coming on to that Princess. She's just going to keep on shooting and probably kill that Electro Wizard all by herself. And with the minions coming down right after, Zap is used to clear out the minions a little bit and drop the health so that the Princess can finally go down. But no one on J-Monty's side, no one throwing confetti in his stands, is upset about the way that that Princess worked, because she shot 8 times, 10 times. How much value did that 3 Elixir Legendary generate for J-Monty? There's a reason she's coming back into the metagame. With all the people playing Zap, because bats are now really common, people are playing Zap instead of Log. Well, if you play Zap instead of Log, Princess is going to abuse you. Rice takes advantage of the opportunity to get down a Lava Hound, and here comes the push-in on the other side, trying to get that mini P.E.K.K.A in. I think one thing that J-Monty is picking up on is there's not ground distraction troops in Rice's deck. Oh no, the mini P.E.K.K.A is getting close! Chops it down! But there's no skeletons, there's no goblins, there's no just cheap ground troops to hold the line against those things. Another fireball is going to come down and clear out the minions, and that balloon is going to lock on and get some damage. 29 seconds left. One drop gets onto the tower. That tower is down. One tower down on each side. We are going maybe into overtime, but we are definitely going to see at least a second tower go down in this game. Ice Golem, Hog Rider, Princess building up. Ice Golem there to block the Princess shots. Lightning comes down. Does a great job by Rice there, spreading out his defense, putting him on very different sides so that Lightning couldn't hit both. But Lightning still does take out the Inferno Dragon. And here comes another Hog Rider. That's exactly what J-Monty wants to do, is attack when the Lava Hound comes down, because he knows his opponent only has so much Elixir, and that tower's going really low. Lightning hits it one more time. One more swing by J-Monty. Great timing. Use the well-timed Lightning to stun the tower, stun the Inferno Dragon, let one more attack get in while still doing damage. That takes it for J-Monty. Game 1 of the series. He is only 1 game away from locking up his spot in fall season. Opening it up, Rice has a huge advantage in this game with an Elixir Collector in his opening hand. That's exactly what you want to start off with. Every Elixir Collector deck wants to open up with an Elixir Collector if possible, and in a mirror match that can be very, very important. So let's see. It's up to Rice to play it and then defend. It's up to J-Monty to take advantage of that situation and try to push. J-Monty does have the tools to make a pretty scary push, because if you go down to just 4 Elixir because of your Elixir Collector, J-Monty can go Ice Golem, Bandit, minions, and that's a pretty scary attack that only is going to run him 8 Elixir. Spends a little bit more than you, but if he can do 1,000 or more damage to a tower because of that, I'd say it's worth it. But it looks like both of them are waiting. 45 seconds in, Rice decides to take that attack, and here we go. Ice Golem, Bandit, minions, here it is! They're coming in. Bandit comes across to charge, blocked by the Ice Golem. Enemy Bandit comes in. Great Ice Spirit to hold them off. Counterattacks the other way. Very, very impressive defense by Rice. J-Monty gives the angry face because he knows that he got bamboozled, but that's okay because the Miner comes in and clears it out. Now, Rice does have a slight Elixir advantage, pretty much the Elixir advantage that the pump gave him, but he's not back to the pump yet. So he is now, but he has to spend that Elixir advantage on an attacking card instead of a pump. Now, J-Monty pumps. Rice can pump early. He doesn't have to wait till 10 Elixir to pump again because he knows that when your opponent plays a pump, they don't have the Elixir to punish you, so go ahead and play it. So if they're at 10 and they play pump and you're at 8, play pump, go ahead and put that pump down. Because you know that with 4 Elixir, they're not coming in with anything too crazy. Ice Golem goes in the back for both players, and here's where we start to build up into the Three Musketeers part. The craziest thing about Three Musketeers mirror matches is I think both of them know they're on now. I think both players are smart enough to realize that they're both playing Three Musketeer decks at this point. The catch is going to be that neither player has the spells to kill the Musketeers. No one's running Lightning, no one's running Fireball, no one's running Poison. So what to look for in this matchup, what a savvy player does, and we saw this in the spring season with players like Oxalate and Lucifer, is they're going to start putting all 3 of the Musketeers in the same lane. This deck normally splits their Musketeers 2 and 1 and puts the tanks in front of both. I think these players, besides just trying to stop each other from getting their collectors going, are going to start putting their Musketeers in the same lane, and then it becomes a race of who can keep the most fat in front of your Musketeers. You know, if you can keep Knights and Bandits in front and let your Musketeers keep shooting, you're going to be in a good advantage. J-Monty goes ahead and splits from the middle. Miner comes down. All 3 go in the same lane for Rice there in the back corner. And this left side, though, is looking very good for J-Monty as he goes in. Uses the defensive arrows to hold some stuff off, but oh my god, goes down to 155 on that side. Ooh, another freeze comes through. The Ice Golem sets up for the Ice Spirit and more damage. Only 11 seconds left. He's got to get that damage through. The Miner's holding for the tower. The minion. Oh my god, this is a crazy cycle for Jaymont. He is very... I mentioned it's a low-cost deck, but the cycle here is crazy. He goes Ice Golem, Bandit, throws down another one. We're in overtime. Only 155 left. Now remember, no one has the big spell, so the Miner's got to come into the Miner block. No, the Miner's not blocked. The Miner's not blocked. He only needs one more hit. Jaymont takes the game and seals his spot in the fall season. Jaymont is the first North American player to seal that spot over defending champion, defending spring player, Rice. All right, so this is actually a good opening here if you're Rice. You want to drop that Lava Hound early, and Crap does not have a pump to answer with. So if you were ever going to drop your Lava Hound, this would be a good situation. Of course, you don't know what your opponent's running, so Rice might be afraid of things like Hog Riders and other really aggressive pushes. He doesn't want to drop 7 Elixir out of his hand, because if he does, bleh, you get punished. But if he could see Crap's hand, I think he'd go for it. He has the Zap for the Bats. He's got the Bandit, or the Guards for the Bandit. There are tools in his deck, but this is the mind games that happens at this level of play. One mistake can lose the game. Especially one mistake at the very, very start of the match. Like, if you aggressively put a pump down or aggressively play your Lava Hound and you don't have the tools for it, you're done for. Bandit comes down. Perfect opening for Rice here. He can drop the Guards, counter him 3 for 3. And now I think he might feel a little more comfortable dropping down the Lava Hound, because that's one of the main like punish mechanics you're going to see, right, is the Bandit. So the Bandit comes out, you're like, cool, I'm not going to get hit with a Bandit if I drop this Lava Hound. Crap did get to his pump, though it's a little late. Opts to pump with the Lava Hound bearing down on him. There is Fireball Zap in Rice's hand. So we'll see if he can hit those 3 Musketeers. Looks like Crap's trying to play him. He's hovering him. He's going to play him. No. Yes, he does. Here comes the Fireball Zap. Great! That's exactly what Rice needs to win this game. Like, you couldn't ask for a better setup there. No Balloon, though, to back it up. Didn't have it. Great job with the Zap coming down for Crap, and that's locked on. It's going to heat up for a few charges, getting it down to 1281. That's about the best you can hope for, right? You brought that tower down to half health in response to his Elixir Collector. So now it's up to Rice to try to set up one more really good push. Could drop a Lava Hound. Especially perfect timing. You drop the Lava Hound, Crap plays the pump in the back, and now if you want to throw that Miner pump down, you have, or the Miner Zap, Fireball Zap on the 3 Musketeers, you might also hit that Elixir pump as well. Great job, though, punishing. This is the exact sort of punches we were talking about, and Rice gets blown out because his Zap missed the Bandit that was charging. Here they come down again, and since he had to use the defensive Zap, the Fireball is only going to do so much. It breaks him apart a little bit, and the minions can do some work. Actually, great job by the Lava Pups doing some work here. But you really want both in hand to counter those things as soon as possible. Balloon comes down, Bats are going to chew that thing up, and we've got a counter-punching Bandit. And this is where, for Crap, not only is double Elixir time favor him, but all those pumps are going to finally add up. The Bandit just dives right through the Guards. They showed up a split second too late, and they're split again in the middle. And once again, Zap was already used on Bats. And that's part of the reason why we see those cards used in that game. Fireball comes down to stun them. Ooh, great job blocking. And those 2 minions, those 2 Musketeers are still shooting. Miner comes down to hold the line even after they go down. And we get that down to 300. The Bandit's on it. The Bandit's on it. And there we go. Crap takes the game. Woo! Game 1 of the elimination. He's only 1 game away now from joining his brethren in the next stage. Opening hand. Balloon is in Crap's hand. We've got the P.E.K.K.A. for Rice. It looks like Rice is holding that P.E.K.K.A. because he's expecting a Hog Rider or something similar to that. Maybe a Bandit. But nothing's coming down. So both of them, once again, are holding. We've mentioned this several times before. You just don't want to overcommit. You don't want to put yourself in a bad position. So we're seeing these players really try to hold the line here, not make any crazy aggressive plays early on. I'm expecting Crap to eventually play this Mega Minion, because I think the Balloon decks are better in single Elixir time. I mean, you really want to catch your opponent flat-footed, out of cycle. They don't have their card that they want in their hand. But if you're in double Elixir time, the ability for a player to get back to their minions or get back to their Electro Wizard, or really in this case you have 2 answers, so you're never that far away from another answer, I think that actually is going to favor Rice. So Crap is kind of playing a dangerous game here, waiting until double Elixir time, but I'm sure he knows what he's doing more than I know. So we'll see what happens. I know that Rice's deck definitely thrives in double elixir time because, of course, you want to not just play a P.E.K.K.A. on defense, but be able to back it up with like a bandit, minions, throw a miner, have a spell. There's a lot of cards you can play that all synergize well together, so Rice is happy to wait this remaining 35 seconds to get in double elixir time. Ah, crap, has had enough. Finally drops down that Mega Minion. And we see miner minions go down the other lane. Mini P.E.K.K.A. chops one up, and actually Mega Minion does a great job pulling one away. Takes a bit of damage on that tower, though, but look at this counterattack. Mini P.E.K.K.A. on the ground, balloon in the air, Mega Minion flying to the side. That Mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to connect. No! The Mini P.E.K.K.A. Okay, so the Electro Wizard blocks it, but then it chopped up the Electro Wizard, and the balloon gets in there. The Electro Wizard just went down instantly. He was there to defend, immediately got goofed off the board. Minions were already out of the hand, out of cycle, and exactly like we said in the pregame, that's what you got to do. You got to catch minions out of cycle. You got to kill that Electro Wizard and pulled it off. Now it's up to Rice to turn it around. Now Rice knows that he's got to switch into a beat-down style game set. Can't sit back, can't defend, because crap is never really going to make a big attack again. So instead he puts the P.E.K.K.A. behind his King Tower like a golem, like a giant, trying to set up this big attack. P.E.K.K.A.'s chopping through Mini P.E.K.K.A. And the Electro Wizard trying to pick off the Mega Minion, but that P.E.K.K.A. is just getting eaten up by the bats and Mega Minion. A fresh P.E.K.K.A. comes down to block. We got Bandit behind it. This is a scary looking push here. Fireball, okay, holds them all in place. The Bandit now is going to charge. No, Ice Golem pulls it back. Mini P.E.K.K.A. behind the Ice Golem to get some serious damage on that tower. The Miner's doing work, but Miner doesn't do that much damage, so even though he was not being attacked at all, he only contributes a couple hundred bits of damage. Ah, crap! 5 seconds away from winning this game. Moving on to the spring season finals. I know he has got to be thrilled. He has worked so hard to make it this far. Ah, crap, J Monty advance from Group A. Alright, El Jefe in red along the top, Batman in blue along the bottom. Now we've got Miner and Balloon in his opening hand along with the Bat, so if there's a big, like something like a P.E.K.K.A. in the back, Batman can come in with a balloon attack pretty strong. El Jefe's trying to decide, does he want to invest the Knight or invest the P.E.K.K.A.? Goes with the Knight to counter the Ice Golem in the same lane. Batman's throwing a Miner in the opposite lane away from the Knight. Knight's one of the most common cards to intercept a Miner, so he must have thought it was, a good opening to put it there, because there's not going to get countered by that. The Bats come to the Ice Golem. Oh no! You'd really prefer to have those Bats now to stop the Graveyard Skeletons, but with Poison going down, that's very quickly overwhelming. Batman has to use a defensive zap to get through, and now he uses the zap on defense. He doesn't have it for the Bats on offense, and no, the balloon doesn't make it! The balloon was so close and just got hung up on those Bats. It was like shaking and moving through the Bats and ended up not getting one drop off. That's gotta hurt, because one drop would make that pretty even. They'd both be around like 1,500, 1,600 damage, but without getting that drop, Batman finds himself significantly further behind in damage 1 minute into the game. Batman gets the Mini P.E.K.K.A. behind the Ice Golem, going down that side. Matched up against the Knight, his side's definitely going to win, and that's when Big P.E.K.K.A. comes down to more than even the odds. Ooh, Mini P.E.K.K.A. does not get one more swing. The Fireball comes down to clean out the minions and leave the Mega Minion to do that damage, but Ice Wizard's going to clear it up. That's a half-health Mini P.E.K.K.A. Getting closer. Bats are going to hold it off, and he's got to use the Ice Golem to push it away, but the combination Bats... the Ice... Oh my god, the Electro Wizard plus the Zap cleared out the Bats. Mini P.E.K.K.A. got dangerously close, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. on the counterattack didn't get one swing? Almost two swings. Wow. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is almost as good as Balloon in terms of damage, and just like that, the damage is tied up into the top left tower of El Jefe and the bottom right tower of Batman. No, it's Batman! Can he pull this off? Miner comes down ahead of the Knight this time on the weak side tower. P.E.K.K.A. goes down the other side, and that is asking for a balloon in your face. So P.E.K.K.A. goes down in the back, balloon's coming up. We're going to see a fireball out of Batman, it looks like. No, maybe? Maybe a fireball on the other side. Doesn't look like he was interested in helping on offense. No, he throws down the Zap instead to clear out the rest of that. Doesn't want to use the Fireball. And instead, now he's got Bats going up against the P.E.K.K.A. Bats get zapped off the board. And now offensive Bats are coming in. Oh, no. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is getting hung up on the Skeletons, which is not really where you want him. He swings so slow that he's not great at clearing him out. That Zap was kind of sloppy and didn't hit the backside ones. A second Mini P.E.K.K.A. comes down, though. Oh, the tower goes down, had 44 health left. Goes down, and I think El Jefe is going to win this game because with only 9 seconds left, I'm not really sure if the balloon can even make it across the side. The balloon's going to get close. Zap doesn't take out the minions, though, and it's not going to make it. El Jefe takes game 1 over Batman. Starting off, El Jefe has Cannon Cart in his opening hand. Meanwhile, Batman has the Goblin Barrel. It's exactly what you want when you're playing Spell Bait, because when you're both going to hit 10 right here, one of the best things to do is throw a Goblin Barrel like 9.5 elixir, because if your opponent even wants to counter it, they usually have to sit at 10 and leak like half of an elixir before making the well-timed play, so you get a little bit of an elixir advantage early on. Cannon Cart comes down at the river, it shoots the Ice Spirit in one hit, Knight comes down to block, but is quickly gobbled up by all that, and the Cannon Cart is destroyed away from the tower. The minion comes up to get one chop. Pretty good. Let's see, Batman's looking to throw another Goblin Barrel. Has the log ready, but there is no log, nothing ground defending that. Looks like El Jefe's just going to eat it on that side because he had already played the minion horde against the princess, found himself low elixir, could not stop the Goblin Barrel. Great play for Batman, taking a huge damage lead early in this game. He's looking to tie this matchup 1-1 against El Jefe. And he's only 1,400 health on that left tower from doing so. Both of his towers are looking very strong. Remember, Batman also has Rocket. So it's 3 rockets to kill that left tower if he opts to go that route. But I would expect maybe a little bit more damage and then just 1 to 2 rockets. The Inferno Tower comes down early. Maybe a little too early because now it's losing health, right? It's already lost 20% of its health without really doing too much. Miner comes down to block it. It is locked onto the Mega Knight, though, and it gets reset by the Zap. This time we have a half-health Mega Knight coming across. It makes the jump, and then Goblin Gang lands after. Very smart play by Batman. Even though you're like, oh man, I had to take damage on my tower, that is so much more preferable than playing the Goblin Gang on top of the Mega Knight, because the Mega Knight will jump and squish the whole Goblin Gang. Counterattacking Goblin Gang gets that tower down to 337. Cannon Cart in the middle shoots across to the princess, and another princess comes down to block it. Log pushes it back, but the Cannon Cart does get in range. So even though the shield comes off of it, that cannon is still attacking, hitting the tower. No, it's blocked by the Goblin Gang. Goblin Gang's coming back. 241 on that tower. It's within rocket range, so if Batman wanted, he could just start working over the other tower and ignore it and plan just to rocket at the end. But it looks like he wants to take it out without having to use rocket. Princess comes down, finishes off the rest of that minion horde, and a huge damage lead right now. Mega Knight's, though, coming down for the counterattack. Inferno Tower comes down early. Mega Knight is okay against Inferno Tower, but he's still going to have to zap it. Oh, no! He uses the lightning right there. And it looks like it times out. Use the lightning to take out all 3 things in the middle. The miner comes in, and the minion horde's coming down, but the princess is locked onto the miner. Throws it. Minions are going to take that tower down. And the goblins, bring it down to 29, but there's a log in his hand, so he can use a log right now. 15 seconds left before we go to overtime, and we are going to overtime with 1 tower down on each side. Big damage lead for Batman right now. Mega Knight comes down to defend against the Knight. Let's see what happens. Okay, here comes the Inferno Tower at the Riverton place. Ooh, Ice Spirit comes up in front. The Minion Horde gets up to swarm it, and they are overwhelming the tower right now. A second princess comes down. Cannon Cart comes in the middle and is shooting across at those princesses. The Knight goes to block it, but can anything stop the Cannon Cart in the middle? Because if that gets too close and locks on, you're going to be in real trouble. The Ice Spirit jumps onto the Cannon Cart. A second princess comes down. Cannon Cart takes out Princess A, takes out Princess B, but the shield comes out while it is outside of tower range. You don't have to worry about it hitting your tower, but still, that is a terrible thing to deal with in the middle of your base when you're already trying to stop a Mega Knight. Damage lead still leads, though, for Batman. Didn't actually hit the tower. Knight's going to pull it over to the side. Inferno Tower in the middle comes out a little prematurely. Ends up not being needed as much. But that's a great one. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Batman's Inferno Tower. Reading it all backwards. Playing it up front, a forward place tower. Miner comes down in the middle, hits the princess, and is holding the tower. Aggro all the minions screaming! Down to 1,000, 600, 400, 300, 200, 150! El Jefe takes the game and knocks out Batman. Well, beats him in the first round, doesn't totally knock him out. But 2-0 sweeps Batman and moves on to the next round. Playing in Builders Arena, I might add my favorite arena, the coolest one to me. And of course we've got the widespread view so you can see all the lumber yards on the outside of Builders Arena. And that big old clock tower, which I don't get to see on my phone. Ice Golem comes down the left lane with a Night Witch in the other. Now, here's the thing. These players know so much about each other's decks that just seeing the Night Witch probably tells Colton this is either a Golem deck or a Giant deck, because I really haven't seen anything else run Night Witch. Maybe there's a Mega Knight deck in there somewhere, but just Night Witch might tell Colton a lot, and I think Colton's being a little more sketch about playing his playing his collector. But here we go. We've got the Electro Wizard Giant push coming in, and then Miner's going to come in the middle. Great minion horde there. Takes out the Electro Wizard and is now jumping on the Giant. Giant is going to get several punches, though. Oh, no! The King Tower is activated! Bernstein Cat! He played his miner up too far, and even though the pump went down, which is good, the miner was a little too close to the tower and went down. The trade zaps work out in the favor of Colton, and it looks like that tower... Okay, 1784 on Bernstein's bottom left tower. The damage lead is about even on the left-hand side for each player. Colton's looking about getting another pump down. He's hovering it. He does have a slight elixir advantage, but I don't know if he knows that, so we'll see. If he's about to hit 10, no, he does play the pump. Now it's up to Bernstein. I think if I'm Bernstein Cat, you go in with the Giant Night Witch. That was your whole plan. Or he's going in with Giant Minion Horde? Giant Minion Horde. Ooh, great timing there. The Minion Horde locks onto the Giant, allowing his Minion Horde to clean up right after. I think he might have predicted that. He was thinking about Night Witch and then went, no. Because if he drops Minion Horde, I've got nothing. The Night Witch isn't going to kill the Minion Horde. But if I play my own Minion Horde in really good shape, great poison right there. Not only captures the Goblin Gang, the tower, but also the pump in the middle, taking away the elixir advantage that Colton was trying to build up. And just like that, they're about even in elixir, but Bernstein Cat takes a massive damage lead in game 1. Over 1,100 damage ahead, and now Colton is going to start splitting 3 Musketeers in the back now that we are in double elixir time. Three Musketeers are split across. Miners coming in to tank the tower. Bandit jumps onto the Giant, and this is really going to be the messiest fight here. Now, there's only a zap in that... Well, I guess there's the poison, but is he going to use the poison right now? I guess he wants to use the Electro Wizard instead. The Electro Wizard gets cleaned up too quickly. I think he might have been better off using poison there, because he ended up taking so much damage. He spent 4 elixir anyways, and it just wasn't enough. 14 damage on Colton's tower. Bernstein Cat has 216 in either. If this goes to 1 tower down on each side, I actually think that favors Bernstein Cat. But the problem is Colton doesn't have any way to get damage onto the tower. He's got to throw the miner down. But why the miner on that side? What is going on? He's got to do the damage to that tower, but if it's all blocked up and he can't get 216 in the next few seconds, he's going to be in big trouble. I think it's exactly what's going to happen. The miner comes down to block for the Bandit, and 3 seconds left. Colton's going to lose. Bernstein Cat takes game 1 with 216 left on his tower, and I think it all came down to that aggressive miner on the left side for Colton. If it had gone on the right side, that miner might have been able to tie it up. We've got Bernstein Cat in red along the top, Colton in blue along the bottom. Both players have Lava Hound, so if they wanted to start a push either in the same lane or opposite lanes at 10 elixir, they both have that option to do it. Let's see who's the first one to drop their Lava Hound. They're thinking, see, neither player knows what they're running, so both players are worried, like, if I drop my Lava Hound, am I going to get punished? Neither of these players could really punish, right? Even if Bernstein drops a Lava Hound, Colton tries to punish with minions or Goblin Gang, there's a zap in Bernstein Cat's hand to just wrap that up. So both of them could drop down their Lava Hound and be super safe. Lava Loon is one of those decks that just can't punish. It just, like, doesn't have the tools to punish you for making a big collector sort of style investment. So both of these players are pretty clear to drop their Lava Hounds whenever they want. They might both be waiting, though, until double elixir time. Another thing you could do is if you're a player, like if you're one of these two players and you're a little nervous, is you could go ahead and drop down a Tombstone, but it looks like Bernstein's going to pull the trigger on his Lava Hound, and Colton's going to put it in the opposite lane. So now you're kind of in an awkward situation. Do you defend the Lava Hound? Do you push with yours? Both players are kind of playing a little poker right now and seeing who's going to commit first. Colton looks like he's going to drop the minions. No, he's going to actually back up his, trying to take out that Tombstone. It's 3 elixir for the Tombstone, 3 elixir for the minions, trying to sneak it on by. Balloon comes down for both of them. And it looks like these balloons on both sides are going to be pretty vicious. We might actually see towers being traded right here. Good job on the minions on Bernstein's side to get onto that balloon. I don't know, is it going to stop that last drop? It does stop the last drop. So, will that tower go to... it's going to... Yeah, okay, so they're going to trade towers. But the balloon is actually coming for Colton's King Tower. Gets 2 drops in. Stopped by the Lava Hound. Alright, minions are coming down. The one surviving minion is probably just going to be lost. Starts a new push here. Bernstein Cat on the left side with the Lava Hound going down. It looks like Bernstein's going for a 3 crown, and Colton does not want to let that happen. He has 1,000 less health on his King Tower than the opponent, so instead of trying to go for a base race, he's just going to try to defend and have his push survive on defense and then try to push through and take that second tower. Looks like he doesn't want to go for the 3 crown. Minions go down with the defensive fireball, and the balloon is pulled to the other side. Now the balloon might get a drop on that far tower. It does, which opens up Bernstein Cat to now go for the 2 crown win on the right side if he wants. but it looks like this Lava Hound is still pushing. Mega Minion's trying to follow up with it. Balloon comes in, takes out one attack, but three things, the tower, the King Tower, and the Mega Minion, all locked onto that balloon. It did not quite get there, although it is going to have a little death bomb that blows up. Great Lava Hound comes in to block for that surviving Mega Minion, and now you've got about a 10 elixir push coming down on your King Tower. And Colton's a little low because he'd already spent so much on the Lava Hound. Balloon comes in with the minions behind it. They're going to clean up the Mega Minion really quickly. The Tombstone is pulling the balloon backwards, but because the balloon only needs one shot to take out a Tombstone, it's closing in on the tower. 1307. One bomb gets dropped on it. 419. How low does that put it? 147! That means Bernstein Cat just needs to get back to his Fireball, and he's going to win the game. We're in overtime right now. I don't think there's anything Colton can do. Fireball comes out for Bernstein Cat, and a good game. 3 crowning Colton and sweeping him in the matchup. Moving on to the next round. Colton opens up with a Mega Knight and Balloon in his opening hand. Batman does not have the Elixir Collector, and that's a huge decider in the matchup, is if you can get that Elixir Collector out early, it's easier to get a second Elixir Collector out around 2 minutes into the game. And then you're in really good position. He's got to cycle towards it. There spends the 1 elixir card to get 1 card out of his hand. Zaps the bats, not because he really needed to zap the bats. He just needed to get to the elixir collector and didn't want to spend more than the absolute minimum amount of elixir needed. Balloon's coming in with minions behind it. Bats come down to sort of intercept. Oh, but they get zapped off the board, and the Balloon of Colton connects to the tower. And with the minions coming in behind it, no, never mind. They're zapped. Second Balloon comes down, and the drop is going to bring that down to, I think, 666 or less, 602. The bats are coming down with the Ice Golem on the other side, and Batman is going to take a little poke on that tower, but not too bad. Really, the right side tower is where he took a lot of his damage, but he is back to an Elixir Collector. If he can get that second pump down and defend it, he's actually going to be in a really good position to take that tower, even though he has a massive Elixir disadvantage, or a massive damage disadvantage right now. All the elixir advantage will allow him to turn that around. Let's see if 3 Musketeers come out in the middle. He's holding it, he's hovering it, he's trying to get to that 9 elixir, and he does drop them. Only 1 is coming onto that side, though. I wonder if that was a mistake or if that's what he wanted to do. Tower goes down, gets held in place there. I'm worried about that elixir collector, though, taking another drop. Well, it's at least going to take the death bomb damage. 3 Musketeers lock onto the tower. The minions are there to quickly clean them up, but that tower does get down to 1,302 health. The Miner locks onto the other side to try to take out the Elixir Collector and negate the Elixir advantage that Batman has generated, but the Bandit locks onto the tower with the minion horde attacking the Ice Golem and not the Bandit. Batman is able to take a tower, and suddenly, after being down significantly, he finds himself up in damage. 1 tower to go on each side, and I think the 3 Musketeer deck's going to have a really big advantage. One thing that could work out for Colton is if 3 Musketeers are played in the middle on Colton's side and the Mega Knight just lands right on top of him, that would be a huge lead for him, but Batman opts to not make that really aggressive play, keeping his 3 Musketeers in the back. Looks like he's going to split them behind the Ice Golem and the Bandit, 2 going on the side of the Mega Knight, 1 going on the free side to cover the back, and also just to threaten that 3-crown victory if you get a little too lazy in your defending. Bats come down, but they're immediately taken off the board, not exactly where you want to put them. Ice Spirit comes down, Miner's going to block, and the Musketeer on the other side is showing up to help. Miner and then Ice Golem hold the Mega Knight in place. Mega Knight does not get a jump on the Musketeers, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Double elixir time with a lot of those pumps means that all 3 Musketeers not just defended and earned their value on defense. Oh no, what a bad Mega Knight. He didn't hit. He didn't squish him. He landed a little short. But it allows Batman to play a whole nother set of Musketeers. Like, Colton just spent all of his elixir countering the last set of Musketeers, and now a whole nother set's coming out. We've got 3 Musketeers, Miners popping up there, Minion Horde showing up. This is a whole lot there at the river, but I'm looking at 3 Musketeers still standing, 1 Musketeer still standing. Getting that shots in. Batman's coming with the counterattack. Colton's trying to push down on this tower, getting it down to about 1,500 or so. Bandit charges onto the tower, the Ice Spirit landing right afterwards. The Mega Knight jumps on it, but that is down to 532. Colton's tower is looking pretty ugly. Jumps down to the middle. Zap comes in to clear it out. 212 left. Now remember, Batman doesn't have Fireball, but he does have this Bandit in the middle. He does have 3 Musketeers, and he does have Miner to try to finish it off. That gets it down low. Zap takes it down once. 84 health left. This is really the last chance for Colton to try to turn this around. If he can't get some damage in here, and he's got the Minion Horde coming in. It's cleaning out the Bandit. No! The Mega Knight does some more damage. Is going to jump. Zap's not going to do it. This could do it. This Colton's going to jump right here. Mega Knight gets in one. Zap in the bat. Man takes the game. 130 health left on his tower. That's got to be a heartbreaker. So Colton has an opening hand. He's got Bandit and Night Witch in his opening hand, which is for 7 elixir, a pretty good punish if Batman were to invest, but there's nothing really to invest. He might play a princess behind his king tower. It's usually a really safe play. You're not going to get punished too badly for that, and the princess has a long enough range to cover both lanes, so Batman plays it in the middle. Colton's going to reply with a bandit on his side. The bandit can dash across and kill the princess in front of the tower. It looks like the miner's going to pop up instead, but oh no! Zap comes down. Log pushes the bandit back. The bandit's going to get in range, but the knight is going to intercept. No damage done to Batman's tower. Here comes the goblin barrel. A little bit of goblin swings get on, but for the most part, the minions and Night Witch stand strong. We see a giant placed in front. Oh, the elixir's a little low here. It looks like Colton's just going to let it go. I know that's got to hurt, because if you had one more elixir, you could put a giant in front and have a pretty strong push, but smart move there by Colton, not chasing a bad play. Does get the princess. Goblin Gang comes down just a second too late. And Giant is being hovered by Colton. Looks like he's looking to set up for a giant push. We're only a minute into the game. We're not in that double elixir time, but Giants are cheap enough that it's easy, even in single elixir time, to put one behind your king tower and be able to defend them, I think, pretty expertly. I mean, 5 to 6 elixir is enough to stop a lot of different pushes. Batman could have rocketed that tower plus the Giant, but Giant has so much hit points, I don't know if it'd really be worth it. Here it comes. Looks like he's going to rocket. Oh, the Miner! No, he misses the Miner, but he does at least rocket the Minion Horde, a 6-for-5 trade. An elixir negative trade, but what's your other options, right? Let the Minion Horde destroy your tower? So for taking -1 elixir, but stopping that threat and saving the tower, great resourceful play. That's the sort of stuff that I think average players don't do very well, is knowing when to make bad elixir trades, but overall save your tower and save the game. Log comes down, clears out the rest of the bandit, and gets a little bit of chip damage on that tower, and we are in double elixir time in this second game of the series. Colton has Giant played in the middle. He's got to tie this game up a 1-1, the series up a 1-1, unless he wants to go home a little early from the CCGS fall season. Giant Night Witch on the other side. He ignores the Goblin Barrel, which is kind of interesting because that tower did have more health, but now it's the lower health tower. Miner comes in to distract. Minion Horde's down there. The Zap comes a little too early up, and now the Inferno Towers, I think, actually... Okay, it is locked on now to the Giant, but it's a little late. The Bandit comes charging in, hits the Ice Spirit. That Princess, though, is doing work, taking out all these different Swarm Troops, hitting multiple things at a time. The Miner comes in to defend. The Minions are chopping the tower up. Double Princess right there, but that tower is down to under 500 health, 333. There is a poison being put down. I think that poison's also going to clean out the Princess, putting that pretty deadly close. Only one more poison is needed. Zap comes down, but the Zap is not enough to kill those goblins, so they do a little bit more damage. Defensive Princess. Those towers are both over 1,000 health, and he only needs to do a tiny bit of damage. The Log misses the Miner, and Colton takes the game with 2 quick Miner hits. 1-1, going to a game 3. Colton's trying to figure out what to do with his opening hand. Now, he does not want to wait till 10 elixir this time. Splits the bats early on. Giant comes down in the back for Batman because he sort of knows that, like, alright, like, the bats aren't really going to hit my tower. The Goblin Barrel comes with a follow-up. I don't think Batman expected that at all. He threw the Zap down, but Colton's got to be happy. I mean, for 5 elixir to do 700 damage to that tower is pretty good. Here comes Princess, though, trying to shoot cross lane. The Miner's going to come and intercept. Knight comes down to block this, and this is looking like a really strong push for Batman right now. The Night Witch, oh no, the Night Witch gets jumped on by the Mega Knight. Bats are coming down in the middle to help defend, and that push gets shredded. Does do a good amount of damage, though. 1901, pretty good for Batman to do that damage, but that was a significant looking push. Here comes the Minion Horde, very expensive, but also not in the right, well, I mean, they're in the right place to stop the Mega Knight, but the Goblin Barrel finagles him again for a couple hundred damage, even though Batman did zap it. So far, the Goblin Barrel looks like sort of the secret weapon here in Colton's deck. There's not a lot of great answers. I mean, there's some okay answers, but you have to really be prepared for it. And the tower twice now has been tanking other incoming troops when the Goblin Barrels come in to do some damage. Batman puts another Knight down, going for the weak side this time. Doesn't want to go for the full health tower. Knight plus Goblin Gang plus Bats come. This is a good opportunity to zap, but he must know that Zap's out of cycle. These players are some of the best in the world at counting each other's cycle and knowing what is in each other's hand. And Colton must have known there was no Zap in there. Felt comfortable going in with the Bats and the Goblin Gang at the same time. Here comes the Knight. Or the Giant across the river with the Minion Horde behind it. Zap comes in, and the Princess hit right after, takes out that 5 elixir attacker, but look at the amount of damage being done right now to that tower. Doesn't zap it, which is a little odd for me on Batman's side, because I feel like a zap would have taken out the tower, but he figured he was going to do it with the poison anyways. Goblin Gang gets a little bit of a counterattack coming at him. Tower is left within Zap range. Zap does 68 damage. 64 is the miner, but it's okay. The difference between a miner and a Zap is nothing on that tower. Both of them take it down. Mega Knight jumps on the Bandit, and now it looks like they're going to both bear down on this Giant. Great predictive minions come down to just clean up the Goblin Barrel, I think, pretty well. Still took some damage, though, because just nothing prevents all the damage, except for that log. Bandit comes in, holds the Mega Knight for a little bit, but it's not enough as the jump comes through and takes the tower down. The Goblin Barrel is thrown onto an empty lot, and the tower is actually, wow, the King Tower is actually getting swarmed hard down to 2330. Batman does have the Mega Knight down, or the Giant down, to block for it. A little bit of an early Giant, though, but it does let him set up a very good poison, taking out the Princess, a lot of damage, and even weakening the Knight. We are going into overtime right now. Damage is about even on both towers. 1900-ish, 1800-ish health separates these two. Goblin Barrel comes down. The Minion Horde cleans up most of them. Very little damage being dealt there. Pretty good defense for Batman. Now he's got an opportunity for a counterattack. Giant comes down in the middle, maybe to block for the Minion Horde. No, the Princess is going to clean him out. Doesn't want to commit that Giant. Miner intercepts the Princess. And that's it. It's the 3-for-3 trade. Does not following up with any more stuff. Mega Knight, though, answers that, and it looks like Colton is going to start building up a big old push of his own. Batman puts Night Witch down in the back. Oh, what a rocket! I don't know if the rocket's been shown even once this game. That might have been the first and only rocket we'll see. Mega Knight does a little bit of fighting, but I think that was really good defense by Batman, especially to keep his Bandit alive. Now it's going to be our big threat here. Goblin Barrel comes down. The Princess takes it out, and the Goblin Barrel takes it down to 9. Ooh, wow, even worse than that. 983 down to 684, and the Princess is still alive. And outside the range, the tower looked just barely 1 square outside the range. Expert placement there by Colton, knew where to place it. Goblin Barrel comes down, there's nothing to answer, there's no minions on top, and Colton takes the game with a Goblin Barrel 1 minute into overtime. Survives. Batman, the 4th place finisher from spring, going home. El Jefe opens up with Graveyard Knight in his opening hand. Now, he doesn't know what his opponent's playing, but if something like a P.E.K.K.A. was played in the back or an Elixir Collector or something like that, great opportunity to go into the Graveyard. Graveyard has a bad matchup against 3 Musketeers, but a pretty solid matchup against all the beatdown decks that we've been seeing, so picking a Graveyard deck is a little bit of a gamble in these sort of competitive matchups, because your big hope... Oh, wow, that was a weird log. Oh, but well-timed. It did hit the Bandit to do a little bit of damage to him, and cycle, most importantly. You might be like, why would you log that? The answer to why would you log that is just really simple, right? Like, you just want to cycle and get to the next card in your hand. And there comes the Graveyard as the Baby Dragon is holding it. Bats come down to help clean out the skeletons. Of course, bats do the same amount of damage as the skeletons. They're just flying skeletons. So bats are probably one of the best answers in the entire game to Graveyard. Still, though, 1394 left on that tower. Knight comes down to block, and a log is going to come through and clean out those other 2. I think El Jefe's got to be very happy with that initial push. He has a huge damage lead, and it's not going to take, I don't think, too much more to push that down. I mean, one other Graveyard of, like, similar power will knock it down. The P.E.K.K.A., though, is going to be a little bit of a challenge here. You can't Graveyard right now. Like, actually, if he had Knight Graveyard right now, it wouldn't be the craziest play because the P.E.K.K.A., a lot of Elixirs invested in the P.E.K.K.A., and it's not going to fight the skeletons too well. But wants to sit back and fight the P.E.K.K.A. more on defense, where it's easier to distract and you have the tower helping it out. That Executioner is getting dangerously close, though. We're going to see a tornado? No. Oh, we do see a tornado! And it pulls up just out of range! Oh, and the Knight comes down to block. Incredible precision. Even though... the Knight and the other one did go down, I think that was good enough defense that if you're El Jefe, you're super happy. I mean, you stopped that P.E.K.K.A. I think he spent a decent amount of Elixir to do so, and he ended up even getting a little bit of chip damage on the tower with the defensive log. Trying to decide what's next. Does he poison the tower? Does he go for the Electro Wizard? Looks like he might Electro Wizard right here on top of the Bandit. No, it was late! It was late! And then the Electro Wizard's too far away! An incredible change of pace here for Bernstein Cat. That's the sort of misplay that can lose you a match. Bernstein Cat got that tower down to 206. That's in range of just a single poison. So when we get closer to around 10 seconds left in the game, I think you're going to see a poison on that tower if the P.E.K.K.A. doesn't get there first. Now, Bernstein Cat wants to keep the pressure up, so he's pushing the other lane now. Basically challenging his opponent to, like, alright, let's even say you do take that tower and we go 1-to-1. I want the damage lead on the other side. Tornado pulls it back, and the Electro Wizard wins that matchup as the Poison finishes it off. 19 seconds left. Now, there's still plenty of time to get that in there. You just got to get that Graveyard going. Graveyard takes about 9 seconds to get all of the skeletons out. Of course, after the recent nerf, it's only 15, or it's only 17 skeletons instead of 20. And it's just going to be a little bit shorter. But it's okay. Bernstein Cat wins the game, pulls it out 2-1 because of that unfortunate misplay by El Jefe, and he is 1 game away from moving on to the Fall Season Championships. Good luck comes out of both players. Bernstein Cat has exactly what he wants to see in his opening hand, which is an Elixir Collector. If he can put that thing down and then defend well with it, he's going to be off to a good start. If he puts it in the middle, I think that's probably the better play. If you put it behind a tower, the Graveyard deck can really punish you because they just Graveyard that side, and some of the Graveyard skeletons will pop up and clean out the Elixir Collector. Now, he did the bats there because it allows him, kind of forces your opponent to play something and see what they're doing. With the Baby Dragon out, you can predict that he's either playing Splash Yard or maybe like a Golem deck. And there's the Graveyard giving it all away. 3 Musketeers come out, confident that his opponent does not have like the enough Elixir to play the Baby Dragon and the Graveyard and the Poison. It allows the Musketeers just clear out that entire Graveyard, and now you've got this counterattack coming through, and you just spent a lot of Elixir on your Graveyard. You can see El Jefe is down real low, only plays the Executioner, and while the Executioner is good at stopping those two, that's 5 Elixir that dies. You still take damage on your tower, and this is after those Musketeers already earned value by killing skeletons and the tanks on the Graveyard push. I think Bernstein Cat finds himself very far ahead right now and decides to invest that lead into an Elixir Collector. The Poison comes down for El Jefe, but bad news is that if you're Bernstein Cat, you now know, okay, there's no Poison, I can split my Musketeers again. And I think that's what we're going to see. Puts Ice Golem in the back, needs to get back to the 3 Musketeers, so he cycles 1 more, and then there they go. 3 Musketeers come down, knowing that you don't have to worry about a Poison for quite a while. And actually, he's only 1 card away from the pump again. So even if, let's say, that a Poison does come down here on the 3 Musketeers, like if he cycles back to it, then you're confident you can just put your new pump down. You don't have to worry about that thing getting poisoned. Musketeer locks onto each tower. And the damage is tied up there on the right side as we go into double Elixir time, which is not where you want to be if you're El Jefe. Graveyard decks do actually pretty well in double Elixir time because you have enough to play a tank and the Graveyard and the Poison. But, of course, the real problem is the 3 Musketeers and no real great way to answer them. Although, really impressive Graveyard push there for El Jefe. Did a decent amount of damage to the tower, and even with that log finishing it up, pretty nice. 1097. Actually, he might be able to pull this one out. Poison comes down, and that's exactly where you want to put it, right? On the other side, against the 2 Musketeers, even though you'd like to get it on the weaker side, you have a big damage lead now. So you can put the Knight down, or Log, or whatever, if you want to finish those off. Knight goes to block. Baby Dragon gets frozen with the Ice Spirit, but is enough to pull it out. Electro Wizard stops that push, holds off the Musketeer as well, and going into overtime, it's looking pretty good. Another Poison comes down with a log to stop those 2 Musketeer side. Doesn't have to defend the left side at all now, just needs to focus on defending the right side. Ice Golem comes down to block for the Musketeer. Executioner's in the middle. Bandit plus Goblins come down the left side, though, to force a splitting of Elixir. And it is defended well. Still a damage lead for El Jefe, but here comes the 3 Musketeer split again. He does have Poison in hand. Will El Jefe go for the Poison, or he's going to go for the Graveyard? Does go for the Poison. He's going to put the log down as well. He's got to put the log down because those things are not going to stand in that Poison for long enough to get killed. Puts Baby Dragon in the air, and then, oh no, that side's taking a lot of damage. Opted not to play the log. Plays the log now on the right side to hold that off, and now the tides are starting to turn. The damage lead has gone back to Bernstein Cat. The Elixir advantage in Bernstein Cat's side. He's forcing his opponent to poison the higher health tower. Even though it is working at holding off those Musketeers, it's just not really putting it away the way he wants it to. Goblins come down to start clearing out the skeletons. Poison comes down to weaken it, but now you have 2 Musketeers and a Bandit on the other side. It doesn't look like anything's going to stop him. The Bandit locks onto the tower. The 2 Musketeers shoot it up, and Bernstein Cat seals the game and is going on to the fall season top 10. Congratulations, Bernstein Cat. Opening hands come out. We've got Colton in blue along the bottom, El Jefe in red along the top. He does have Knight and then Graveyard in his opening hand, but I don't see Colton doing something like P.E.K.K.A. in the back right away, so there's not a lot of good opportunities for it. What you might see is if Colton ever does invest a P.E.K.K.A. in the back, that's a great time to go in with like a Knight Graveyard push, because you know he's not going to have as much to defend, and anything that costs that little, like 3 to 4 Elixir to defend, can die to a Poison. Poison used by Colton there right away to clear out the minions, do some damage to the tower. The Electro Wizard played just out of range, and here's our first graveyard of the day. Damage is starting to pile up. Skeletons are starting to pile up. The Bandit's doing a really good job actually holding aggro and keeping it off, and he manages to get out of that with only a few hundred damage dealt, although most of this counterattack, yeah, not really going anywhere. Elixir advantage even between the two players. Colton hovering a Miner, thinking about it. Going in, yep, Miner minions. Great placement of the Miner, where it's in the middle where you probably wouldn't predict it to go, but at the same time, it's not in range of the tower on the right side. And the minions are going to lock on, cleaning out the Knight. Ooh, Knight. Electro Wizard comes to clean it out. It's a pretty full health Electro Wizard. 1742 on the top left tower as the Electro Wizard runs ahead of the Knight for the counterattack here. And no damage is once again done to Colton's tower. Great defense. Here comes this Bandit, going to charge and make it. It does! Oh, heartbreaker for El Jefe. Okay, 1422 as his minions are counterattacking. It looks like these minions are actually going to make it and hit the tower, bringing it down to 1762. And actually, those minions alone did a really good job of bringing El Jefe back into it. Surprised Colton didn't defend with, like, goblins or something in his hand, but he must have been building up for something, or he just thought his tower would be able to handle it. P.E.K.K.A.'s coming down. Miner going in the back, which is a little surprising. Oh, he's pulling the P.E.K.K.A. away behind the tower so those goblins could get in there and deal some damage. Zap comes down to hold it off, and the Knight is going to go down, but that P.E.K.K.A. has all the health. 100% of the health. Now, Colton has a P.E.K.K.A. of his own, but this is exactly where we're going to see something like Graveyard come down. You just spend all your elixir on a P.E.K.K.A. You get the... Okay, minions come down. Oh, the poison comes down as well. Luckily, minions are not bats. They have a little bit more health and can survive for a few swings, allowing them to clean out some of the graveyard skeletons. But ouch! Triple elixir, or triple digit damage is left on that tower as the very fragile remainders of his army are coming through. But the Bandit connects, getting it down to triple digits as well. Another P.E.K.K.A. comes down. The Zap comes down. Does not kill the Electro Wizard. But a little bit of damage is done to the P.E.K.K.A. and just like that. Now, there's no log in Colton's deck, right? So he can't just, like, log that Electro Wizard and take it out. He's going to have another P.E.K.K.A. come down. Defensive Poison comes down. Offensive Poison comes down. The Defensive Poison is going to hold off most of those skeletons. Poison lasts the same duration as a Graveyard, allowing him to barely take damage and get through that. But he's still behind in damage here. He pulls it up to 810. The bats come through. The bats are zapped out. 510. Zap comes down to protect it. Poison comes down. Now, he's not going to have that poison for defense now against the incoming Graveyard, so he's putting down the Goblins first, protecting his Graveyard, and then the Minions. Minions are going to stop some of the Skeletons, but the Minions come down. We've got one Miner. He zaps to get it close. Another Miner swing. Another Miner swing. Is he going to get one more? He does! Colton takes game one. 298 left on his own tower. He decided to ignore the Graveyard and go for the kill. Paid off for him. He is one game away from advancing to Fall Season Finals. All right, here we are getting into it. Bowler is in El Jefe's opening hand. It's going to be pretty good if there's something like minor goblins that come in right away at the start because the bowler can stop it. Goblins are split in the back as sort of a passive placing what his opponent's going to do. Bats are split to match them. Miners coming in on the right side, and the Goblin Gang comes down to meet, and the Bat even gets to chip in a little bit of damage. The Goblin Gang is coming back. There is an Electro Wizard waiting for it. Looks like the Electro Wizard is waiting to be played. Blip! And kills the Fire Spirits to protect them from killing the minions. Great poison comes down here. Huge value poison because it's going to take out the rest of the bowler and work over the furnace. Goblins come down to block the Goblin Barrel, and it wasn't a full surround. They all went on one side, which allowed those goblins to prevent it without any damage being taken. Almost pristine damage here after the first minute of gameplay. Only a little bit of damage has been dealt to El Jefe's top tower. A pretty insignificant amount of damage, if I'm being honest. A mere Goblin Barrel comes down. Let's see what he's got. He got Bandit. Now here's the downside of Bandit. Does not one-hit those level 10 goblins. So a bunch of damage is dealt, and just like that, El Jefe takes the damage lead. And every bit of damage is really dangerous against that deck because of its ability to rocket you out of the game if it gets too late. Another Electro Wizard comes down. Ooh, bats are surrounding it, and the bats do counter it and take it out. Damage pretty even, though, on each side. Looks like El Jefe's trying to decide, do I want a rocket, do I want a Goblin Barrel, do I want a both? You can actually hide a Goblin Barrel with a rocket. So at 9 Elixir, you might see both of them come out at the same time. One Goblin Barrel comes down. Once again, defends with Goblins. I feel like Colton wants to use the Zap on offense, so he's going out of his way to not use the Zap on defense against the Goblin Barrel. He's trying to use troops instead, even if that might open him up to an arrows. He's already seen the arrows, so we might see something like that, like a Goblin Barrel backed up with an arrows, if Colton tries to defend with bats or minions or goblins again. Another value poison. This time, 2 bowlers are already out. The bowler was played in the back, and he quickly cycled back to it, and now double bowler. The P.E.K.K.A.'s not going to get knocked back by the bowler, but... Ugh, what a counterattack. Oh, there's the arrows we were just talking about! Goblin Barrel come down with arrows. Great job, though, by Colton defending. Takes out 2 of them with the zap of the Electro Wizard. He gets through. Another bowler comes down. This one, though, is turned around by the Miner. Miner pushed out of the way. You're going to see a zap. We do see a zap, but I think that P.E.K.K.A. just take too much damage. That zap needed to be a little bit more instant, but it doesn't matter. One swing on the P.E.K.K.A. or one swing on the bowler is really all you needed to get that last bit of value out of here. And now we're seeing 2 Goblin Barrels come down with the arrows, and the arrows hit the minions! We're down to 500 health. 1 roll, and we are in rocket territory right as the game runs out. El Jefe tying this up 1-1. We are going to a deciding game 3. And here we are in game. We have Miner Minion Horde in El Jefe's opening hand. Colton has a P.E.K.K.A. Bats. If a big investment's played, we might see the Miner Minion Horde go in the opposite lane of something like a backwards Electro Wizard. So you play Electro Wizard in the back. You might see Miner Minion Horde come down the other side. Colton is thinking about that Electro Wizard, but clearly doesn't want to play. It might just split the Bats as a passive play. El Jefe's tapping them both. He knows what he wants to do. He's signaling right here to us, the viewers, that he's looking to do that Miner Minion Horde push. He's just waiting, just like, play something. Passive Bats play. Splits them up, makes it real hard to go through. Going to do a passive Minions play as well, splitting those guys up. Electro Wizard is going the heavy Minion side. And the Miner comes down to intercept it. Bandit comes down as well. Ice Golem, great block there. Does not fall for it. I have a feeling that Colton sort of knew what was up, right? Once you start to see the Miner Minion tricks, you know, you've lived this life before. Miner goes in on El Jefe's tower, dropping it down 2150, 2086. Both of his towers looking good. A little bit of a damage lead early on. The cannon card is in El Jefe's hand. What is that cannon card going to do? I truthfully don't even know what cannon card is in there to counter. I assume it's cards like Bandit, Hog Rider, maybe even something like Electro Wizard. Not really sure. Cannon card's played at the rivers. An aggressive play. P.E.K.K.A. comes down to chop it up. Takes the shield off with one swing. Kills it with the next. And Poison has to come down to stop all the minions. The minions pretty much finish off the P.E.K.K.A. though. But it's a nice 4 for 5. The Poison 4, Minion Horde 5, positive Elixir trade to stop your tower from getting googled up. Downside for El Jefe's, he's seen the P.E.K.K.A. now, so he's got this Mega Knight, and he's got to think, like, do I play the Mega Knight now while I know that P.E.K.K.A.'s out of cycle? But a Mega Knight at the river can be countered by a lot of stuff, and countered by Ice Golem, plus Bat, plus Electro Wizard, etc. It's not going to be hard for Colton to necessarily make a positive Elixir trade against it. Throws the Miner in on the other side, and we are in double Elixir time, gentlemen. Bats come down, try to block that. We're going to see his Ice Golem. No! Zap comes down. Ice Golem played, and there's the P.E.K.K.A. P.E.K.K.A. chops the Miner up to stop that damage onto his tower. We're going to see another Poison to take out Minions and Minion Horde. And the P.E.K.K.A. even survives that battle. Great defense by Colton, but he's got to finish off that tower on the right. 1638, he has an advantage there. These P.E.K.K.A.s, though, are not really surviving. This time the cannon cart might... Oh, no, okay. Good job taking the shield off. The big danger of a cannon card is even with a little bit of health left on its shield, it's still moving. If it can get close to your tower, it'll lock on for a ton of damage. There goes the Miner locking on the tower for El Jefe. Lightning comes down, takes out the tower, the Ice Golem, and the Electro Wizard. This tower's going real low. Log comes down, Bandit stops it. 1108 on that side. Electro Wizard is blocking not just the Miner, but taking out some of those bats as well. Suddenly, El Jefe has taken a damage lead on this tower. The Bandit's going down on the other side as Colton switches lanes with the counterattack. Here comes that cannon cart. What can stop it? Okay, this time we have P.E.K.K.A. Miner comes down behind it. Electro Wizard in the far lane here, taking damage from that Miner, putting him down into the triple digits. But the Electro Wizard is now going the opposite lane. He's got the Ice Golem down to block it. Mega Knight comes down to block. We have Miner, Bandit, Bats going down the left side lane. Is this going to be it on the left side? Bandit charges, locks on the Bat. Okay, the Bats get cleaned up. We got Poison. Oh, Colton's bringing it down. 400, 500. I think that thing's going down. The Minions aren't going to be able to stop it. Colton takes game 3 and is moving on to the Fall Season Championships. I am so excited for you. Colton, best of luck to you. Game 1 of B-Rad versus Tin2. Now, B-Rad got very far in the spring season elimination week. He reached the top 4 and top 8. I want to say he reached the top 8 almost every single day, and he reached the finals like a lot, and he just couldn't seal the victory. Almost considered retiring after spring season elimination because of how disappointed he was that he couldn't make it. Went back with his teammates, redoubled his effort, became a more versatile player. Used to play just really minor poison, and that was it. He's become a much more diverse, although still primarily minor player, and made it through to the next round this season. He has a lot of fans rooting for him. Mega Knight comes down for B-Rad on defense. The Miner locks on. We've got the Mega Minion behind it, but the Mega Minion's too far back to really back up that Mega Knight. Mega Knight will get one jump off, and then the Mega Minions will just trade at the river. Overall, that worked out better for B-Rad as the Mega Knight locked onto the tower for a huge amount of damage. And looks like Ice. He was thinking about putting an Ice Golem in the back, but now he's got a bigger problem because there's a balloon coming in. And what do? Tin 2 responds with a balloon push of his own, realizing he can't really stop that other balloon from taking his tower. So instead, he's just going to put the pressure on his opponent. Great job with the zap there for the bats. And now that drop, it's going to get at least 2 drops. No, a zap comes down to finish it off. 666 on B-Rad's top right tower. Another drop comes onto Tin 2, though. Oh, wow. That is actually a huge change. I mean, even though it's only one more drop, that tower being at 1342 is an incredibly vulnerable 3-crown victory. This game could end at any time if you just push on the left side and take that tower. Miner's bringing that one low, though. Not going to finish it off, but is going to put it within fireball range. Tin 2 can take that tower whenever he wants with a well-timed fireball. And is he going to... No, doesn't even Ice Golems. I'm just going to take the 2 swings on that. Goes for the balloon push on the other end. And oh, wow. B-Rad's going right behind him with a push of his own. Now, the Mega Minion blocks it, so I think he's got a good shot here. But even the Death Balloon there, ooh, brings it low. Although that other tower goes down, and just like that, Tin 2 is now 2 fireballs away from winning the game, but he's also about to lose his left tower and only has 45 seconds to do that because he's about to lose 2-1. Miner comes in. 321, 2-0. Oh, what's fireball range? B-Rad's going to 3-crown right here with the fireball. 35 seconds to go in the first game of their matchup. Very impressive. Game 2 between B-Rad and Tin 2. Tin 2 does have the balloon in his opening hand. Doesn't look like he's going to make a push for it, though. Just eats the Ice Spirit early on. I think B-Rad just wanted to cycle, so you just throw that out there. B-Rad's deck actually runs both 1 elixir cards. Great Tornado. Tornado's the Miner onto the King Tower. Huge advantage for B-Rad right there, because now he's going to have extra towers helping him out. And when these other balloons come in, you could probably Tornado it too. It's going to use a defensive rocket. It's a negative elixir trade, but of course you also don't get a rocket on your tower, so it's probably worth it. He had the Ice Wizard, but I think he maybe felt it was too late, but the Ice Wizard wouldn't do enough. Like, the Ice Wizard might allow it to get 1 drop and then die right after, and that's not good enough. He just wanted to make sure he took no damage. Ooh, Ice Wizard into Ice Spirit, freezes that for a while, allows the skeletons to come down and block it. Tornado pulls it all together for the Ice Wizard, pulls the Miner off the tower, most importantly. Even though the King Tower was helping bring it down, I guess the name of the game here for B-Rad is just not take any damage. Log plus the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Oh no, it does get 1 hog swing. B-Rad, maybe a hog god too. Tin 2's counterattacking with this Mini P.E.K.K.A. Tin 2, great attitude. One of my favorite players from North America spring season. Really good kid. Doesn't take losses very bad. So even though he lost the first game, I don't expect him to go on tilt and really have that effective. The Miner comes down. The goal there was to have the Miner draw the tower. If he was a little quicker about it, the Miner pops up. Even if you rocket the balloon doesn't die. So if the Miner had grabbed the tower, he would actually have to play some other card besides rocket to stop that balloon. Timing was just a little off for Tin 2. And the damage is about even, though. About 2,000 on each left side tower. We are 8 seconds away from double elixir time. Here comes the Knight in the back. Mega Minion to answer in the same lane. Ice Wizard is coming down. I think we all know the balloon is coming down this lane. Everyone can see the balloon's coming, so he wants to get the Ice Wizard down early. Fireball. Ooh, oops, he says. I think he meant to hit the Ice Wizard right there. Played it a little early, switching it up by going to the other lane now with the Fireball. Gets the Miner up. This is where the defensive rocket is not going to be as useful. He uses it close, though, on the Miner, and the Ice Spirit to pull it off. The Death Bomb damage will still get there, but now we've got a Hog Rider coming down with double Ice Wizard. The long pushes it back. The Zap holds it off. 1 swing gets on there by the tower, and the damage lead goes over to B-Rad. Although the Mini P.E.K.K.A. makes short work of those 2 Ice Wizards. Miner's coming in, does pop up. hits the one skeleton, starts locking onto the tower. Tornado pulls it towards the middle. Oh, the plan there was to get the Ice Wizard to turn around, but it didn't happen. He has to use the defensive rocket anyways after using the Ice Spirit and the Tornado. That is 10 elixir to stop a 5 elixir balloon, and it still drops on the tower. Bad move for B-Rad. This is an opportunity for Tin 2 to turn it around and take the game. Balloon's coming in on the right side. Got another miner up, another one comes down. We're going to see it. Oh, this time, good Tornado that time. Tornado pulls it right into not just 2 to 3 towers shooting. Okay, it does drop it. Hog Rider gets one swing. 2 swings, that tower's down to 694. Now remember, B-Rad has the rocket, Tin 2 does not. So if that tower gets down to kind of low, oh, Miner Fireball comes up though, pushes it off the tower, allows the Miner to get another swing. Ooh, 465. Now if Tin 2 had a rocket, this would be over, but he does not, so he's got to figure out what to do. Mega Minion coming in with the rocket. Oh, is it going to hit the Mini P.E.K.K.A? It doesn't hit the Mini P.E.K.K.A. He needs one more log rocket to win this game. But he has to stop this miner first. Oh, the fireball comes in, and one more miner swing does it. Tin 2 ties it up. 1 log, 1 rocket from loss. Tin 2 makes the exact play that he needs to do to tie this up against B-Rad. We're going to a game 3. What to look for in this matchup. If B-Rad plays an Executioner in the back, and Tin 2 gets a value rocket, a rocket that's going to kill the Executioner and do 500 damage to that tower, that could be a game-swinging level play, right? Because these players are so close to each other in skill, they don't really make mistakes that if you say, oh, I haven't seen a rocket, I don't know if he's playing rocket, and you play your Executioner in the back and it gets rocketed, you are going to regret it. It puts you so far behind in elixir and damage. Lightning comes down there hitting tower, princess, and knight. And now we got a Hog Rider coming in with minions behind it. Ice Spirit's going to jump in, does not get the minions, just gets the Hog Rider. Tornado's pulling it away, but that's not going to kill. It does kill the Ice Spirit. Oh no, it jumps on the minions. Oh my goodness, so much was played on defense, and it didn't stop the Hog Rider as B-Rad goes down to 1850 on his right side. B-Rad counterattacking with the Knight right now. Don't know if he's going to put anything behind her or if he's just going to let it go. He's got the log in hand, but it looks like he doesn't want to use it yet. I don't know if he's worried about it or if he just wants to make sure the princess walks in the way, or otherwise he might just be wanting to wait till the last possible minute. He wasn't at 10 elixir, so there's no real need. Tornado is out of hand right now, or he gets it. I think 1 swing though gets onto the Hog Rider first. Only 1 though. 1 swing by the Hog Rider onto the tower is not what you want, especially when you spend 8 elixir on defense, but you do have the Executioner coming back. And it looks like Tin 2 is just going to try to minimize the amount of damage that it does. Does it get 1 swing? It does. 1 swing brings it down to 1908 on that side. And we don't have another log, though. B-Rad could play Goblins to counter that Princess. No, he's going to drop a Knight instead. Knight comes down for Tin 2 to stop the Ice Spirit from hitting the tower. And at this level of gameplay, every bit of damage counts. So even though it's only 100 damage from an Ice Spirit, 1 elixir for 100 damage is a good rate, and you don't want to give your opponents just like good value damage for their elixir. So it tends to get blocked, even that little bit of damage. 1490 as we go into double elixir time, 2086 on B-Rad's other tower, 1908 on Tin 2's bottom tower. We got a Tornado rocket right there. Now that seems like a crazy play, but that is 9 elixir for Tin 2, Tornado rocket, against 9 elixir for B-Rad, Hog Rider plus Executioner. Not as crazy as it sounds. Those sort of unorthodox plays are what I watch Fall CCGS top flight North American players for. The Knights are going to come down, Duel in the middle. Hog Rider's coming down on the other side on the high health side for Tin 2. Goblins come down. The log is there, but he opts not to use it. It's just too late. You play the log, it's just a little too late. Oh, he's going to pull the Tornado to the center. And that will activate the King Tower, but the Goblins are on the left side dealing serious damage. The Lightning comes down, hits nothing. It was a naked Lightning. Kind of a vulnerable opportunity here for B-Rad. But I guess he felt confident with his elixir advantage to pull that off. 856 on that tower. We are 10 elixir away from double elixir time. He does have a damage lead, but this tower, 1394 is not that much. We got a big rocket coming in, but the rocket hits nothing! The Executioner was just out of range, and the Ice Spirit freezes it, preventing no damage from getting onto that tower besides the rocket damage. 901, though. About even on either side. B-Rad has a little bit of an advantage here with the Hog Rider, or the Executioner surviving. The Tornado is going to pull them all together in the center. Lightning drops it down. Hog Rider gets close. 1 swing. Executioner takes it down, and B-Rad wins the first match of Group C. Whew. Tag is in red along the top, and Trainer Lewis is in blue along the bottom. Now, if your tag and if you knew your opponent was playing Lava Loon, your goal here should be just constant pressure. Do not let your opponent ever save up to just 10 elixir comfortably. If they're ever getting up to 10 elixir, they need to fight for it every step of the way. If you're Trainer Lewis, the way that you actually get to put a Lava Hound down without losing a tower is by letting Tag make the first move, making an elixir positive trade, and then being able to drop your Lava Hound when you're at 10 and they're at like 8 or so, because then even if you go down to low elixir, they don't have so much elixir to punish you with. So you're going to see stuff like that. You're going to see the Tombstone go down first. Lewis already knows the Tag has a Zap Bait deck. You've seen enough, right? You've seen Princess, you've seen Goblin Gang, you've seen Goblin Barrel. Like, you know this is a Spell Bait deck from here on out. Great job there by Tag, dropping the Mega Knight in the other lane. The reason why that's really good for him right now is because with 7 elixir tied up in a Lava Hound, great opportunity for this Mega Knight to come in. Wow! That tower goes down. Great play by Tag. Now the question is, can he stop the Lava Lane push in the other lane? We've got Princess going down, only 3 elixir left. Maybe a defensive rocket would be a good play here, but you gotta have some other way to finish off that balloon. Inferno Dragon comes down, but it's already hung up by the Goblins. The King Tower of Lewis is down to 2,000 health, but this balloon is going to land on Tag's tower and drop it a little lower. Inferno Dragon gets swarmed by the bats from behind, and that death damage is going to bring that down to about 2,000 as well. And with Tag's side tower taking a little bit more damage, the damage lead goes to Trainer Lewis, even after taking a huge beatdown from that Mega Knight. Now, if Lewis has got to be worried, though, because same deal. You can't drop another Lava Hound without being vulnerable to a Mega Knight. If the Mega Knight takes you down, you're in big trouble. If it takes down your King Tower, you're just out of it and lose right away. So, we'll see what he can do here. Goblin Barrel comes down. Guard's already there to block it. Mega Knight in the middle, but is there a zap for it? Oh, the zap was actually on Lewis's side, and that Mega Knight goes down very, very quickly. Balloon is coming in on the King Tower side, not going behind the Lava Hound. Guards are coming in along the river, and that balloon is untouched. It finally does get a defensive rocket, and the tower takes it down. Only the death damage can hit on that tower, but here we go. We've got the Inferno Dragon with a lot of health locked on. He has to zap it. If you let that thing heat up too much, you're done for. Minions come down, and the Goblin Barrel is going to bring that down to 1,200, 1173. So he does have a damage lead on the 3 crown, but he's found it really hard to actually get that 3 crown damage in. Only needs like 2 rockets and a Goblin Barrel, but that's a 15 elixir. It's not an only. Here comes the Lava Hound in. This tower is going down. This is looking really bad. Looks like he has to go for the 3 crown play. Defensive Fireball for Trainer Lewis is going to seal this up with 6 seconds left. This tower's going down. We might see a 3 crown. 1 second left. Oh, Trainer Lewis with the disrespectful 3 crown. 1 second left. Decides to take that King Tower. Tag finds himself down a game in the first match. Trainer Lewis in red along the top. Tag in blue along the bottom. Now, I wonder what the Dark... Well, actually, I'm not super surprised. Dark Prince is great against Goblins, against Goblin Gang. Really good against Goblin Barrel, too, weirdly enough. But, oh no, Tag opens up with a Giant and immediately is answered by a P.E.K.K.A. in the same lane. A bad start for Tag because this 5 elixir is going to get completely wiped off the board, and Trainer Lewis's 7 elixir is going to survive. Now, Tag could try to double down on this by putting things like Minion Horde and Minions down, trying to get a bunch of damage in while the Giant is distracting. Bandit's going to speed up the death of that P.E.K.K.A. And sadly, the Bandit jumps onto the P.E.K.K.A, also gets squished. Good fireball there, takes out most of the attackers, still gets the charge, but you're not going to take a P.E.K.K.A swing, and that's really what matters most. Given that that was kind of a bad start for Tag, I think he's got to be happy getting out of there with only 500 damage. Minion Horde come down. There's the Night Witch to help hold it off. Are we going to see another charge? Charge does not hit, but the poison is very well placed, taking out the bats from the Night Witch and the Minion Horde. 1686. Every time Trainer Lewis is making a push, it's doing about 500 damage. Tag needs to switch around this pattern. He's down by 1 elixir right now, but if something big like a P.E.K.K.A is invested, you might be able to go into the punish play on the other side. Bandit at the river, Bandit in the back. Bandit charges the tower with the Miner right behind it doing damage, and just like that, Tag takes a damage lead. Okay, the Dark Prince is charging in on the right side, but the Bandit right behind it is going to be a ton of melee damage dealt to that tower. We're down to triple digits, 425, 268, 108, and just like I thought, Tag had taken the damage lead, and it was turned around right on him. P.E.K.K.A at the river is going to chop up that Giant. It's kind of tough. I don't know if you're Tag, if you should even play the Giant at all, right? Like, I know what he was doing there. He was probably thinking, like, oh, my opponent doesn't have enough to play a P.E.K.K.A right away. But he could have played the P.E.K.K.A by the time that it hit the tower. I don't know. If you're Tag, maybe you just play 7 cards. You know, you just don't even play the Giant in this matchup. That P.E.K.K.A.'s coming down. Poison's coming down to clear out the minion board. 1 tower goes down there. Trainer Lewis throws a fireball down. I'm sorry, Tag throws a fireball down to get that tower down to triple digits. With 45 seconds left. Tag can tie this up. 45 seconds is plenty of time to get in there. The downside is that Trainer Lewis can focus entirely on defense. He's going to put the P.E.K.K.A. down in the fragile lane. He's going to just keep putting stuff down invested in the far back. He never really has to attack, and I don't know if Tag has the tools to overcome this matchup. Ooh, I like this play, actually. Forcing the P.E.K.K.A. into the other side, which is giving a chance for this Night Witch Bandit play to go somewhere. He's got the miner up. The bat is still alive. Minions come down to defend. Gets the zap in there. Can a poison finish it up? No, a poison's going to be a little short, and he doesn't even have it in hand after all that. These seconds are going to count down. I just don't see a way for him to do it. It looks like Trainer Lewis is going to take the second game and move on to the finals of Group C. And in the opening hand, Tag has both of his expensive troops, and Elixir Collector's nearby, but how are you going to get to that Elixir Collector? I guess you got to play minions out of hand. You don't want to play any of your real big expensive troops. It kind of defeats the purpose of pumping up. Minions are played passively in the back, splitting into each lane, giving him a little bit of defense while he can hopefully drop his pump right in the middle. No, thinking not. He was about to, and then opted to the Electro Wizard after Tin2 played the Ice Golem Bandit on the other side. Gets a Mega Knight down. And now we have 3 Musketeers in the middle. I don't know what Tag has in his deck. It's gonna help. Oh, he drops the zap on their head. Doesn't have the zap for the bats, but doesn't need it as the Electro Wizard lives and is standing behind that Mega Knight for some damage. Bats swarm on the Musketeer on the right side. I really like that play. 2 Musketeers were facing the Mega Knight. He zaps them right before the jump. The Mega Knight's landing plus the zap kills them, frees up the Mega Knight to jump again. Expert play by Tag there. And he has a little bit of an Elixir advantage now, which I think he's going to invest into a pump. He has a damage lead and an Elixir lead, and ooh, what a mistake! Plays his pump off to the side. I guess maybe that's not a mistake because you know this deck doesn't have Rocket, but if there was a Rocket... Great bridge spam push there in response. If you see someone playing Elixir Collector, you have to punish him. You can't just let him get away with it. Tin2 is not about to let him get away with it and ran in with the whole Battle Ram Bandit play and gets that tower down to triple digits. Tag does get away, though, with a full health Elixir Collector, which might be able to turn around for him. What was Tin2 doing there? Oh, no, he says, oops. A little bit of a delay, a little bit of lag maybe on his side. Stop that Ice Golem. He had the Elixir, and he had it in hand, but just didn't get it down in time. Log is coming down after the Battle Ram, but it doesn't matter because these minions, they fly. Electro Wizard comes down right after the Log to prevent any more damage to that tower. 756 though, damage lead is still in favor of Tin2, but now we're in double Elixir time, which is something that I think probably favors a pump deck pretty well, especially one that is running 2 7-cost troops. You've got P.E.K.K.A. going down one lane, you've got Mega Knight going down the other. So much Elixir for Tag here in double Elixir time as he drains the remaining 2 pumps that he's got out on the board. Expect to see a zap there on the bats? Yes. An Electro Wizard behind it, and this is a lot of beef. A lot of beef coming down this side on both of his towers. I could see this being a 2-crown victory for Tag if he can get this through. Mega Knight takes out one. One goes down for the P.E.K.K.A. Mega Knight jumps on the other. And oh no! I said 2, I might have meant 3! The Bash Brothers are on either side of the tower. Tag 3-0s. Tin2 in the opening game of their match. Tag in red along the top. Mega Knight in the opening hand again, but I don't think there's anything in Tin2's hand for him to Mega Knight. Maybe we'll see the Mega Knight come down if Tin2 opts to play a Miner. Miner onto the tower, get a Mega Knight in the face. Cycles the Ice Spirit just to see what his opponent's going to do. Tag plays the Bandit into the Ice Spirit. Minions are coming down to counter the Bandit. Let's see if it's enough. Bats come down. Stops that Bandit at the river. The bats get cleaned up by the tower. Early on, players of this caliber are never trying to go all in. They're really trying to sit back and defend and like read each other's decks and cycles and try to get that little bit of advantage that lets them pull ahead. Tin2 uses the Miner. Tag drops his Mega Knight, and Tag just found out that he is in trouble. The P.E.K.K.A. is going to thrash this Mega Knight on defense. I mean, like, P.E.K.K.A. is going to have more than half health remaining. So the Inferno Dragon comes down, and here's where Tin2's already got the Electro Wizard hovered. He knows what he needs to do. Bats come down to help distract and hold it off. But the Electro Wizard does lock onto the Inferno Dragon, and that is a huge loss for Tag. You really need that. I mean, I guess okay, so the P.E.K.K.A is going to go down, so it's not the end of the world. But Miner's locked onto the tower, and that is a near full health Electro Wizard trying to do some work. The Bandit does not get the charge in. Oh, look at the damage being dealt by 10-2 to this tower. He's got it down to triple digits. 500, 400, 200, 100, dead. 10-2 takes the tower halfway through regulation. Just needs to defend for the next minute and a half, but as we get into double elixir time, there's going to be more opportunities for Tag to get a Mega Knight down with some support in the opposite lane of a P.E.K.K.A. So we'll see. Like if a P.E.K.K.A comes down right here at the river for 10-2, or in the middle, like anywhere, you can go in the other lane with the Mega Knight and be pretty effective. We're about to hit double elixir time. Once again, though, Tag taking a lot of damage from these pushes. I like that play, though, of getting the Inferno Dragon down early because the Electro Wizard's out of cycle. Your opponent's going to have to quickly cycle back to that Electro Wizard, and that's exactly what 10-2 is about to do. He's already got it back in hand. Miner comes down, immediately gets squished. Bandit immediately gets squished. I like the Mega Knight being able to go in the other lane, but I think he might have just taken too much damage already. I mean, he spent a lot of elixir that all went down, but actually, no, the Inferno Dragon! The Inferno Dragon's burning up the P.E.K.K.A. The bats are locked onto the tower. This could turn it around. 3 bats, 2 bats. 27 seconds left. 686 on that tower. Tag has to get in there with something, but he just used the Miner on the other side, on the full health side, the side he didn't really need to use it on. Counterattacks are coming through. Here comes the Bandit, the Electro Wizard. That tower is low, but it can defend itself. Down to 958. Miner comes down. Bandit comes down. 5 seconds left. Tower goes down. We are going into double elixir, or we're going into overtime. It's getting late for me, too. And even though Tag has a significant damage disadvantage right now, we've seen this deck be really explosive and turn around. It's all going to come down to, can he defend these Miners? Can he defend this P.E.K.K.A. and turn it around with a huge counterattack? Great defense there. 7 elixir comes in. The Inferno Dragon survives. Electro Wizard comes down. Mega Knight will probably come down at the river, middle. No, comes down the other side. Is he going for a 3-crown push? He could be. Bandit comes in for the charge. We got double charges, and once again, the Inferno Dragon takes out a P.E.K.K.A. This is exactly what you want to do if you're Tag. You've got to go for this 3-crown push right here. The Bandit's locking in. Nothing can really take out those. The minions are doing some work. The Miner did get in there, get some damage, though. Miner comes down for 10-2. He does have a significant damage lead, though. Every little bit of damage is putting him closer, but a huge, 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 huge move there for Tag. Is he going to go for the 3-crown? He's going to go for it again. The Bandit comes down. Bandit's blocked by Bandit. Miner comes down, but the Bandit's going to turn around. Oh, I don't really know about that Miner because the Bandit was already still there, and now here comes the counterattack with a Miner of his own. He's going to throw down a poison and win the game. 10-2's tying it up 1-1. We're going to a game 3. For Tag, hey, happy to have the Elixir Collector in his opening hand. Probably what he wants to play, but you never know because he could get completely scooshed here if he goes for the Elixir Collector just like that. Oh, 10-2 puts the Ice Golem in the back, which means that he can still Battle Ram, but it's really not the Battle Ram you want, right? The Battle Ram you want has an Ice Golem in front of it. Poison comes down to a very good value poison. You do hit the tower, you hit some of the Goblin Gang, and you get the Elixir Collector as well. Bandit coming in after. Got to keep the pressure up. You don't want him to really get away with that pump. Bandit's going to charge on the other Bandit, and Minion Horde's going to come down to defend the blue Bandit and create this counterattack. Bats come down, but are Bats enough? I don't really think so. Zap comes down, and those Minion Horde is still alive. Tag's Minion Horde is taking over, and the Bandit charges. Well played, says 10-2, as his tower goes down, and now 10-2 has the pressure on him. Normally, the Three Musketeer decks start to turn around and take over the game in double elixir time, but with less than a minute to go, 10-2 has dropped a tower and finds himself in a very tough position. Tag could drop another Elixir Collector, but he also has to know that his opponent's running Bridge Spam at this point. Here comes... Ooh, it's a weird side, though, because that's the side they can play. Oh, great log! It's coming in. The Ice Golem blocks it, but that Battle Ram is going to connect to the tower, and the 2 Barbarians are locking on, dropping it down really low. Bandit's going to countercharge there, and just like that, 10-2 has taken a tower back. Minion Horde defends on that side. I think 10-2's got to be worried, though, about the 3-crown. Could happen. Bandit is blocked by the Goblins at the river. Ice Golem is going to hold them up. Miner comes down and gets a little bit of damage down the tower. The Minion Horde is once again bearing down on the tower, even though most of them have stopped to fight the Bandit. They do finish off the Bandit. That's got to be a huge advantage for them. Bats are coming down. We're going to see a zap. No, it just locks on again. He does have the Ice Golem there to block, though, and only really takes the log damage and the Battle Ram charge. Counters with the Bandit. Very high-tempo gameplay. I'm really surprised that he hasn't played his Three Musketeers hardly at all. He's pretty much playing the sort of Minion Horde, Goblin Gang, Miner plan. There go the Musketeers finally in the back. 2 on the King Tower side, because I would expect that he might be going for a 3-crown victory. Zap is going to take out the bats and also slow it down. With 2 towers shooting, that Battle Ram does not make it to the tower. The Poison is going to finish off those 2 miners. There's no heal on Tag's deck, so those, I think the Musketeers are dead, but no, I guess they walk through a little bit, get a few shots off. And a crazy push coming in here. We've got Bandit Minion Horde. This is not looking good for Tin 2 because the Minion Horde keeps surviving. You have to play a defensive Battle Ram, which is not what you want to play. Ice Golem is getting closer to the tower just to give it a little hug. A little huggerino. Gets that tower down to 1174. We are 10 seconds away from overtime. This is the most important game of these players' Clash Royale careers. Here they go. Oh, Battle Ram's coming down with an Inferno Dragon. This looks really good. 3 Musketeers come in the middle with the Ice Golem and goes to block it. Is that thing going to hit? He doesn't. Oh, he doesn't need to zap it. I thought he was about to zap it, but he did not. Held tight. The Inferno Dragon goes down after, and all 3 Musketeers have survived. He has to play Poison at the river to stop that from happening. Miner comes down. Minion Horde comes down after. We're going to see a zap on the tower. Yes, zap cleans out the bats. 500 health on that side. A lot of blue on the red side of the field. Bandit might be charging in for the 3-crown victory. He uses a Miner to stay up in the middle. Both towers are really under pressure right now as the Goblin Gang in the middle ties it up. The Log has to push it back, but no, the spears go through, and it's a 3-crown victory for Tag. He moves on to the next round. Tin 2 from Spring Season will not be returning for the fall. Trainer Lewis in red along the top opens with a P.E.K.K.A. in his opening hand, which if he knew that B-Rad was playing Hog, he'd be like, yes, P.E.K.K.A. But I don't think he knows yet. Ice Spirit comes in, trying to get 100 damage onto that tower. Trainer Lewis is going to let that happen. B-Rad did get to his Hog Rider. That's what he was trying to cycle for. Is he going to run it right now? Puts the Goblins in first. Zap comes down. Again, they're just feeling each other out. Notice, if you're wondering, how do I get better at Clash Royale? Watch these players. One of the best things you can do at the start of the matchup is not overcommit. Don't give away your deck too early. That's what both of these players are trying to do. Bandit's going to charge into the Skeletons. Charge into the second Skeleton. Ooh, charge into the Tombstone. And the Electro Wizard is going to stop that Knight in his path. Dark Prince down the left side making the charge as Executioner blocks the Electro Wizard. Great placement. I mean, perfect placement. That Electro Wizard hit the, or the Executioner hit the Electro Wizard right as he crossed the river, not a moment sooner. Tower helps out. We see a Hog Rider coming in, and this is where the P.E.K.K.A. shines. 1 swing. 2 swings. Ooh, Hog Rider does get 2 shots in, though. Not bad. The tower, which normally would shoot the Hog Rider, was shooting the Knight, which meant that 2 P.E.K.K.A. swings gets the Hog low, but didn't finish him off. Allowed the Hog to get a few attacks in there. That's exactly what B-Rad's going to have to do. You can't just play a Hog Rider straight up against a P.E.K.K.A., but if you get that Elixir advantage going for you, you get the... oh no, is this... Oh, Executioner! Oh, he survives. Being able to sneak those Hogs in, just getting 1 to 2 hits at a time, is the way that B-Rad can get damage through. And of course, if you have the Lightning as well, you can even stun the P.E.K.K.A. for a shot and get a little bit more damage in there. I think we're going to see a Knight stopping this on B-Rad's side. Yes, he plays the Knight right at the river. Goblins come down to intercept the Miner. You're not going to out-Miner B-Rad, I'll tell you that much. The man knows how to Miner. Tornado's played on the Minion Horde to pull it back, and Trainer Lewis has a little bit of an Elixir advantage going into double Elixir time. B-Rad has the damage lead on both towers. Bandit's going to come in, hits the Tombstone. Boink. And the freeze comes down. Dark Prince is charging, but the Knight wins that matchup. Maybe not with the tower helping out, but just heads up, a Knight does beat a Dark Prince, especially on defense. P.E.K.K.A. comes down at the river. Ooh, I don't know about this play. P.E.K.K.A.'s not a great offensive card. He's wanting to use it as sort of a tank to hold off this attack. Is he going to play Goblins, Tornado? Oh, Tombstone! What a last-minute, absolute last-second Tombstone. Great placement, great timing there by B-Rad. The man is a god at Clash Royale. Lightning comes down again, knocks the shield off the Dark Prince. That's a very odd Lightning. He's done that a few times now, and that seems like a very bad Elixir trade, right? Like, it's so much Elixir to, what, knock the shield off of a 4-cost troop? Who cares? But he is putting damage through on the tower. Manages to Tornado the Miner onto the King Tower. Says, oops now. What's the oops? What's Trainer Lewis's oops? Oh, oops. Oh, putting the Bandit and the Dark Prince together, giving him an even better Lightning than he was already taking. Maybe that was on purpose, though. That could be an oops, you know, like, oh, oops, you got me. But it doesn't look like it. This could be a genuine oopsies. Tornado comes in. There's nothing really left to Tornado, so you can put that down. We're going to see Tombstone come in right about now. No, he's actually putting the Tombstone all the way back. Didn't want to put it in front. Going to use it back there to guard the Bandit. The P.E.K.K.A.'s still alive, though, which is making me nervous. The two towers, though, both shooting at the Miner, so the Miner doesn't get off too much good work. Dark Prince slams into that Executioner, and B-Rad did take some significant damage on that. He hasn't gotten any damage onto the tower except for a couple lightnings a while back. And it looks like Trainer Lewis is slowly turning this around. We are a minute into overtime. Here comes another Hog Rider. Ice Spirit behind it hits the Bandit. Kind of wanted to hit the P.E.K.K.A., but hits the Bandit instead. Good blocking by Trainer Lewis. Now the Tombstone will come in. Those Skeletons should do a really good job of holding off the P.E.K.K.A., buying you a little bit of time. Miner switches lanes, but the Miner's not going to be very strong all on his own because if nothing else, a King Tower is shooting it. Even if the main Crown Tower is shooting something else, you're not going to do any more damage than just a normal Miner because there's another tower shooting it. Lightning! Oh! Oh, that Hog swing would have done it, but now B-Rad is only one Lightning away from wrapping it up. He just has to cycle. He's got Knight, Goblins. Doesn't need to play anything too crafty. Does play the Executioner, because why not? And then Ice Spirit. No, Goblin. Okay, now he's got Lightning in hand. Just Lightning for the win, buddy. You're done. Game over. B-Rad takes game number 1. B-Rad up a game. Just needs to win this game to secure his spot in the fall season for North America. I know he was so disappointed in not making it to spring season. So close so many times. This would be a huge turnaround for him in the fall to make it out of Group C. Trainer Lewis, though, no scrub. Definitely looking to make a name for himself on the biggest stage of Clash Royale and try to tie this game up 1-1. Great Ice Spirit. Takes out those bats. And the Knight is ready for the counterattack. Bandit gets lightninged off the board. Interesting choice. Again, it's only 3 elixir, but we saw the last game be determined almost entirely by lightnings. Knight does get in there for 1 swing. If you can ever get a Bandit and an Electro Wizard around that tower and get a lightning on it, game over. GG. Ooh, actually, check this out. I don't really like that play of where the Tombstone was because if he had played it more in the center between the tower, the Mega Knight can actually jump to like Skeleton, then Skeleton, then Skeleton, right to the middle. The Tornado pulls the bats away, but the Mega Knight and Miner are tag teaming that tower, bringing it down to triple digits. Way less than triple digits. We might be seeing the end of this tower right here. Looks like B-Rad's just going to let it go? Yeah, looks like he's just letting it go. Decides it's not worth spending the elixir, that tower's gone. And he's going to try to turn it around. Wishing him good luck in the wars to come, it seems. What's he doing? Leaking at 10 elixir? Oh, is he just letting this happen? I think B-Rad might not want to show the deck. Like, he might be like, ah, I'm already done. I'm out. And just scooping? Yeah, it looks like he might just be scooping his cards. For the rest of game number 1 here, just wants to move on to game 3. Goes, yeah, tower's lost. That's it. I know this matchup well enough. I'm surprised to see any player of a high caliber do that in tournaments, though. Even if you think the match is lost, we've seen some crazy comebacks, even against the best players in the world. So I'm surprised that he took this L. Kind of a sign of tilt. That's what you don't want to see, right? You want to see a player be confident, play it out. Even if you lose, that's fine. B-Rad, though, moving on to game 3. Game 3, the first of the winners matchup. The winner of this game is going to move on to the fall season for North America. The loser gets one more chance. Is going to play the winner of the elimination match, which was tag. So the loser of this game will end up playing tag, and the winner of tag and that player will also move on, joining the winner of this game. Blech! That's a mouthful. So here we got the Executioner coming down the right side. Play a rocket. No, there's no rocket. Just kidding. That's what we were talking. We had mentioned in an earlier matchup that if you can get out the kind of surprise rocket against a player that doesn't know you're playing a rocket deck, that's a huge turnaround. We almost saw that. Oh no! Trainer Lewis gives out the big oops. He meant to try to pull both of them in. It looks like mistakes are going to define this matchup as B-Rad took the loss in game 2 on a mistake. Trainer Lewis tried to use that Tornado to pull the Mega Minion and the Balloon, just missed the Balloon by like a square, leaving the Balloon to connect with the tower. Huge mistake for Trainer Lewis. That's gotta hurt. I mean, that's like an adrenaline dump. It's not even like, oh, I'm disappointed in myself. That's just like you literally turn cold. Ouch. Okay, but he's got a P.E.K.K.A deck. He can turn this around. So he's putting the P.E.K.K.A back like a golem, like a tank, right? And just has to hope that his opponent can't really deal with it. Great timing there, getting the goblins down right after it lands. Mega Knight comes down on defense. The P.E.K.K.A's only going to get one swing, though, and Mega Knight is already a-leaping. So B-Rad trying to turn this around here. Does he get one jump? Yeah. Trainer Lewis, though, the downside is B-Rad is one of the best defensive players in the world. Like, an incredibly excellent defensive player. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes on defense. And, you know, he doesn't have to attack anymore. He can just sit back. And because he has the Mega Knight, there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for Trainer Lewis to get these big counterattacks. If he never plays Mega Knight, unless he's playing it for value on defense, then Trainer Lewis never gets those awesome counterattacks with a P.E.K.K.A. Like, he might just save that in Mega Knight and only play it... Oh, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. In the very back. So there's the P.E.K.K.A. This seems like it's better for Trainer Lewis. This might be the chance for Trainer Lewis to turn it around, but I know that B-Rad thought about this. You know what I mean? Like, so what's the play here? What's the big surprise? Maybe he just wants to fight the P.E.K.K.A on his side of the board, where even though the P.E.K.K.A is going to win the combat, you have the tower chopping it up. But the tower's not fighting it. Look at that. Just outside the range. The P.E.K.K.A's slightly outside. Another Mega Knight comes down, though, right in the wake of the P.E.K.K.A. That Miner is attacking, but a Miner alone isn't really going to take out a tower, especially not with only 18 seconds left. This P.E.K.K.A is the last hope for Trainer Lewis to tie this game up. Fireball comes down, Bandit locks onto the tower, bringing it down to triple digits. Ice Golem comes in the way to block, Poison comes down, and the P.E.K.K.A goes down. Oops, says Trainer Lewis. He's got to be hurting and kicking himself over that. B-Rad moves on to fall season out of Group C, joining so many other amazing players. Trainer Lewis's opening hand, Tag's opening hand. Tag probably wants to open with Tombstone here because you want to cover one lane and give you a little bit of defensive protection for your Lava Hound. So now, for example, the right side's taken care of, right? There's something in the right side. So if you wanted to drop a Lava Hound in that side, you're not worried about anything coming under. You only have to defend your left. Bandits coming in with goblins on the left. Mega Minion's going to come down and chop up some of the goblins. But oof, already that tower's taken over 1,000 health. That's no good. But then again, you are going to have a balloon coming down after that. Now remember, we haven't... Trainer Lewis has not revealed his Executioner yet. So this is the first time Tag is seeing the Executioner. We're going to see the Tornado right after. Yes, we are, buddy. Tornado's pulling you away, but the balloon doesn't get pulled that far back. The archers are locked on. It still gets one drop, and because of where the archers are standing, I think they're going to get blown up, or one of them gets blown up by the death damage. So even though Tag took a significant amount of damage on his left side, he's got to be happy with the Lava Loon push, taking out half of that tower's health. Executioner is going to do real bad damage to the minions unless... Huh. Interesting placement. Only loses 1.5 minions to it. Tombstone's coming down on the right side against Sir Tag. Miner comes down. Is locked onto that tower, bringing it dangerously low as most of Tag's defense was focused on the river. And 412 on that side tower. Now, Trainer Lewis does have poison. Only 2 poisons will finish that tower off. Doesn't have a rocket, so there's 1 poison right there. He probably wants that poison, though, to defend against the Lava Hound, because if I'm Tag, I'm now interested in putting Mega Minion and Minions behind this push, knowing that there's not going to be, like, a really valuable poison after. Mega Minion comes down. It's going to balloon maybe right after that. He's thinking about using the lightning. The P.E.K.K.A comes down, and there's the balloon on the other side. So he knows he just made a big investment. It's not the same as the Executioner that you'd like to use it against, but I think he did make a smart call, being like, well, you spent a lot there. He just spent 8 elixir to counter that balloon, and that gives him the opportunity here to take this tower. Tag goes up by 1 tower, but of course, Trainer Lewis just needs to poison it. He's got 40 seconds to do so as well, so I think we're going to go to overtime here. Poison, defensive poisons, guarding those archers. Ooh, goblins come down to block the Mega Minion just a little more. Archers are doing work there, putting out tons of damage. The balloon is coming in on the tower, though. Tag is about to... No! The tornado again! The tornado again! The death damage blows up not on the Executioner, does hit the tower. 845, though. Tag has a very good lead, trying to go for a 2-crown victory here. The danger is you don't want to drop the Lava Hound. Like, the Lava Hound's the scariest thing to drop right here, because then you're vulnerable, right? So Lava Hound goes down. Okay, he's defending with the Executioner. Bandit gets blocked by the Goblin Gang. And actually, that tower's getting really low. This is going really well. Okay, here comes the miner. Goblins are coming in, bandit in the middle. That tower's, oh, 165 in the tower. Oh no! Oh no! No! Trainer Lewis takes a 2-1 victory over Tag. Tag got the tower down to 165. Couldn't finish it off. Trainer Lewis gives him the thumbs up. Whew. Very dangerous game for both of them. Trainer Lewis is 1 game away from moving on to the fall season finals. Tag needs to tie this up at 1-1. Lava Hound comes down for Tag in the back into the tombstone. So the tombstone is going to pull the Lava Hound over. Trainer Lewis got to decide what he wants to do here. Does he want to? He doesn't have his Inferno Dragon. Like, you can see his hand. Doesn't have it in hand. Goblin Gang's going to come up behind to help clean out that tombstone. Guards do come down to block against the Goblin Gang. And the minions answer that balloon beautifully. That's a 3-for-5 trade for Tag. And those things are going to counterattack. So not only is it a trade, but it's a pretty threatening counterattack. Here comes the balloon on the left side. Mega Minion on the other side. Looking really good for Tag right now. He's got attacks coming in on both lanes. The Inferno Dragon comes down, but very late. And actually just gets killed by the Lava Pups? So the Inferno Dragon comes down kind of out of cycle. And now it's out again. So if Tag wants to start another push, he could probably do that. But Trainer Lewis might be able to cycle back to his Inferno Dragon by then. Inferno Dragon looked like it was the 8th card in Trainer Lewis's deck. It's a very dangerous game, very disappointing for you. Tag gets a Lava Hound down in the back. Trainer Lewis gets a Lava Hound in the top left. Huge damage lead for Tag, not just on one tower, but really on both towers. So if this goes to a 1-tower overtime, he's already got a pretty good lead on either side. The balloon is coming down, though. I think Trainer Lewis might have had a big elixir advantage. Or he just opted to play his balloon very early. Tombstone's going to pull the balloon over to the side. Goblin Gang clearing out the guards once again. And that balloon goes down. The death damage should blow up on the minions, though, right? Yeah, all 3 of them. So that Lava Hound is left on. Both Lava Hounds are pretty much left alone to deal their damage to the tower. Tag's tower goes to under... Nope, not under 2,000, but he gets that other tower down to triple digits. Tag, huge lead here. Throws down the Lava Hound again in the same lane. So once again, Trainer Lewis is happy to go opposite lane. Didn't work out for him last time. Might be a little switched up. So he has the Inferno Dragon now. He plays Inferno Dragon in the back against the Lava Hound. Lava Hound's coming down. Or Lava Hound... It's not going to get pulled to that Tombstone, I don't think. Tombstone, I think, is a little too far into the middle. But the balloon will. Lightning comes down to reset it. Fireball takes that out. The Mega Minion gets zapped off the board. And the balloon comes down, dropping. Trainer Lewis takes a tower. 293 left on that tower. Is Tag not going to be able to finish it off? Because he got that tower down so far down ahead. But oh no, another one. Another Tombstone comes down. And Trainer Lewis twice now falling behind, turning it around for the victory. No, he's lightning. Of course he lightning. Of course he has lightning. My bad. I'm so sorry. Ugh. But this next balloon is going to connect. It does connect. And the death damage right after that was so close. 342, there's no rocket in the deck. Trainer Lewis has a big damage lead now after being down before. Looks like he's trying to take out the Tombstone, setting up for a Lava Hound later. Lava Hound comes in the middle. Can he pull it off to the side of the Tombstone? He's going in for the balloon push. Pretty crazy, abandoning his tower, and no, Trainer Lewis takes it. I'm surprised we didn't see a Tombstone or something at a Tag there. Went for the aggro play, wasn't fast enough. Trainer Lewis 2-0, moving on to the fall season finale, and Sir Tag going home from Group C. And we are starting off here in the Legendary Arena. Music Master does not open with an Elixir Collector in his opening hand, which is really what you're looking for in these sort of matchups. Lenny does have a pretty good offense, so he can go Miner, Minions, Poison if he wanted to, but he's sitting back. Going to use the Miners on defense against this Goblin Gang. And throw the Miner on the counterattack with one whole Minion. But if that Minion connects to the tower, I mean, he does damage. Minion's not a pushover. Bandit kills the Miner. Coming in with the counterattack of the Minion Horde, we see Poison to defend. No, Executioner cleans them out. The Knight's going to go and block the Bandit and take out, at least block one of the Minions from hitting the tower. The other one did. 20-45 left on Lenny's bottom right tower. Lenny's going to have to be a little more aggressive, though, because... well, he may not know it's a Three Musketeers deck yet, but once you find out it's a Three Musketeers deck, you have to really keep the pressure on, because if they ever sit up to 10 Elixir and then you try to attack, they can just drop Three Musketeers on you and you are out of stuff to defend with. So, we'll see. Poison comes down there, very good Poison, hitting the tower and the Goblin Gang. and the Elixir Collector. Very good. Music Master now, it's like, will he punish with Musketeers? Will he not? I'm not really sure. You don't want to put all the Musketeers in the same lane if you're Music Master, even if Poison's out of their hand, because the Executioner plus Tornado can really punish you. So we see one Musketeer going down the left side, two Musketeers going down the right side. No Poison in hand, right? So you can't poison the tower plus the Musketeers. Knight's going to block the Musketeer on the left side, and the big side push is coming in here. Goblins go in to block. That Executioner is about to get shot off the board. And minions come down to finish up the rest. 1184 on Lenny's tower. The 3 Musketeer split goes very well for Music Master right there. Gets a zap down, and he does have a pretty good Elixir advantage now, but we're past the 70-second mark, so I wonder if Music Master will drop down his Elixir Collector or just say, forget it. Does put it down. Okay. Puts it down right as we go into double Elixir time. Knight plus Goblins plus Ice Spirit coming down. Looks like Lenny, is he trying to cycle to his Miner? No. He's just trying to get cards out. They're splitting there in the middle. Bandits coming down to block for the Musketeer on the left side. Minions come down, but it's not going to... Oh, okay, the Knight comes in to block the Bandit charge. That's really the scary one. Great job. Miner turns around the Executioner, and that allows the Musketeers to go pretty much unharmed. He tornadoes them away from the tower, but it's just not enough. You put 6 down to tornado more. You put another 3 down. Sorry. You spend 3 on the Tornado, 3 on the Miner, 3 more on the Knight. That's 9 Elixir to stop the 3 Musketeers right there, and you didn't really stop that much of them. Poison comes down to stop the next 2, but they're still going to lock on and do a little bit of damage. Miner plus Bandit. Nope. Miner plus Musketeer lock on to the other side. Knight comes down to stop, and both towers are now down to about 1,000 damage as a second pump comes out for Music Master. We are in overtime now. The next tower to go down is the end of this game. Musketeers are split in the middle. Once again, the Poison comes down, but because Poison is so slow, you kind of have to put something else down to defend, because if you just like let them die to the Poison, they're going to get a lot of shots off on your tower before that happens. Miner locks in. 636. I'm expecting the left tower to go down first, but against the 3 Musketeers deck, it really could be any tower, because if you overcommit on one side and ignore the other, Bandit and Musketeer have all the tools to take this down. Miner's locked on, bringing that tower down into the triple digits. Musketeer's going to finish off the Executioner, but of course the Knight's just right there to jump on top of you. We see another Miner. No, there's not another Miner. Goblin Gang comes down. Tornado was just used. The Executioner goes towards the Goblin Gang side. Bandits charging in. Miner's down, but nope, it's just the Goblins on those side. 1 Goblin with a knife, 1 Goblin with a spear, and an Ice Golem takes down Lenny's left side tower a minute into overtime. Opening hands, no pump in Music Master's hand. One of the best ways for Music Master to get around the Zap Bait deck, it would be to open with a pump, and Lenny doesn't have a rocket in his opening hand, so Lenny's forced to like cycle through a bunch of cards to get to the rocket. May not even be able to rocket it in time. But this first Goblin Barrel is going pretty well. Spends 4 Elixir on the Ice Spirit plus the Goblin Barrel. Music Master spends a little more than 4 Elixir as well, but also takes about 500 damage on his tower, which is not where you want to be. Princess coming down on the right side. Princess, great passive play in the back. Hard to reach. Is going to be good against those minions. Poison's going to come down. Might kill the... No. So might kill the Princess before the first shot, but the first shot does go down, which stops those minions from doing any damage to the tower. Zap stops the Goblin Gang from being a threat, and now Music Master has a pump. Throws the pump down in the middle. Goblin Barrel's coming down. Lenny does have a rocket in hand, but it looks like the timing was just off a little bit. Is going to rocket that tower. Does it get 1 pump? No, it doesn't. Great timing. If you wait just a little too long, because the rocket has a very slow and long travel arc, that pump can happen right before the rocket hits. And if that Elixir Collector gets off even 1 pump, your rocket is not nearly as much of a good trade as you wanted it to be. It's worse than a lightning at that point, because if it was lightning, they get 1 pump, but at least you can hit the tower as well. Princess going down the left side, looking to cross-shoot across the lanes. Bandit is not going to hit that tower. It's just a matter of what's going to block it. Knight and Goblin Gang coming down for the block. Looked like a 2v2 match there for a second, like 2 versions of Lenny wanted to play 2 different cards. Goblin, that's really weird plays there. So Goblin Gang, the Goblin Barrel's thrown, but it's already thrown when there's like stuff there defending. I don't really know if I agree with that one, but he might have been at 10 and just needed to get something out of hand. Gonna get another rocket down on that Elixir Collector. Cannot let Music Master pump up, so he doesn't. And now they're both sitting at pretty low Elixir bars as we are closing in on double Elixir time. No P.E.K.K.A. yet for Music Master, right? He hasn't played it once yet. He knows this is a this is like a double elixir, or he knows it's a zap bait deck, so he probably doesn't want to go too low on elixir until now in double elixir time where you can recover very quickly. Ooh, that's a really good goblin barrel. 4 goblins actually get in on there. He has to use another zap to clean them out. Just all the bandits running the slowest possible route around the tower. Lenny gets that tower down to triple digits. Now 2 towers are looking pretty bad there outside. The P.E.K.K.A.'s coming in, but the Inferno Tower stops it. Looks like he didn't have the Electro Wizard or Zap or whatever in hand. He'd already used it on defense. Another Goblin Barrel's coming in right in response to the Elixir Collector. Great defense there by Music Master. If you are an amazing player, you can actually time it so that all 3 goblins get zapped by the Electro Wizard. You just have to be like, you know, pretty much the best Clash Royale player in the game. And that's exactly what Music Master is able to do to minimize the damage of that. But it looks like we're going into sudden death right now. Huge damage lead for Lenny. Oh, okay. What was I say? Unless that P.E.K.K.A. hits, and then maybe not. But a huge damage lead for Lenny right now. And what that allows is you can give up some damage. Like, you can allow this bandit to get a couple hundred damage on your tower and still feel like you can trade and win this game. Rocket's coming down for the win there on the right side. Music Master's tower got under Rocket range. Finishes it off, even with that push coming in. Lenny ties it up 1-1, and we're going to Game 3 in the first match of Group D. Music Master does have a Miner and a Log, but not the Miner Poison you want to open up with. And really, Miner Poison's not the kind of deck where at 10 Elixir you make a lot of expensive, aggressive plays. Once that Hog Rider comes down, he easily just switches over to the Bandit. And that Hog Rider gets 1 swing, 2 swings, 3 swings? Oh, almost 3 swings. Bandit might get the charge there. No, good job with the Knight coming down, blocking it. Tornado pulls the Miner onto the King Tower. That's exactly why you play Tornado against Miner decks. I mean, because now every future Miner on either side is going to have 2 towers shooting it naturally. So it's much harder. I mean, a Miner unanswered might do like 400 or 500 damage, and now it's going to do half that because 2 towers are going to be chopping it down that much quicker. Hog Rider jumps across the middle, jumps over the Knight, but the Ice Spirit freezes it in place and the Bandit chops it over. No damage. That's really good for Music Master here. Defended well, and the counterattack's coming up. The Bandit doesn't get the charge off. It's a little too far away to get the charge going. Poison takes out much of the defenders, and damage is tied on both sides. Music Master holding the Knight, hovering it, but I'm not sure. He might invest it behind his King Tower? Yep, that's what he does. Lenny doesn't have a very good hand at all. 3 spells in hand, and none of them are, like, too exciting right now, especially against that Knight. He's going to play the minions in the far back. Now has goblins that I guess you got to play. Unless you want to fireball right there at the river. You probably could fireball for some decent value. Log's going to come in and clear him out. Ooh, good fireball. Well placed. I mean, hits the Knight and the Electro Wizard, kills the Electro Wizard. Leaving, you don't want any of the support troops surviving with a tiny amount of health, because if they're tanked for, they still do 100% damage. So here comes Executioner crossing the river. Knight blocks, turns him around. We are in double elixir time now. Damage is near even. Miner comes back on the far side, is intercepted, but the minions get caught up in the poison along with the Knight and the tower. This is exactly what these decks want to do. You just defend. In the counterattack, you throw a Miner Poison to get damage on the tower. Keep pulling. That Inferno Tower is huge. The Inferno Tower would have missed that Hog Rider. Hog Rider would have locked on for a ton of damage. Instead, we're going to see that Inferno Tower not just kill, but sit there for a little longer. Stuff's going to walk into that. Oh, Goblins at the river. I like that play there. It's only 2 elixir, and it helps stop that Inferno Tower, which was going to take out your... that was going to take out your Executioner if you weren't too careful. Goes down, hits again, and now, see, this is what we're talking about. That Inferno Tower, you have to answer it because it survives with half health, and it just sits there for the next 20 seconds blocking your whole side. Music Master forcing a little bit more elixir out of his opponent each time, which is making it harder for these counterattacks to really come through. Hog Rider might make it for a swing. No, stop. Bandit's going to get another charge off. But once again, if every time Music Master can generate elixir advantage, and put down the Miner plus poison, he's getting damage on the tower and killing elixir out of Lenny's. Looks like Lenny's already saying the good game. I think he just sort of knows the way it goes. Like, it's hard to get through. He hasn't even gotten either tower down to 2,000 or less. He's got to use a fireball to get it under 2,000. Meanwhile, there's just a consistent, steady stream of damage coming out of Music Master's deck. This is not long for this world, even with that early tornado, and that saving the day tornado here. That's going to take it. Music Master wins in 3 games, is moving on to fight Wings. Opening hand, Wings has the Elixir Collector nearby. It's in his 5th card, but I do not see a Miner out of Music Master. So this could actually be a pretty good opening for Wings here. Gets down the Goblin, splitting him up passively in the back. Ice Golem comes into the middle to pull him, and I think that might even pull the Goblins over. No, just the one Goblin over. Minions are split passively as well. Here comes the pump in the middle, and there's no Miner for Music Master still. He does do a good job of getting the poison down. The poison, at least weakening that. If you're Music Master and you think this is a Three Musketeers deck now, which I think you can make a pretty good read that it is, you're probably like, well, yeah, I'm poisoning, but he's not going to play Three Musketeers for a while. We're in 1 Elixir time. You really only see Three Musketeers start to show up a lot of double Elixir time. Great log there, chipping it down. Bandit's blocked by Bandit, and they take each other out. This Bandit will not charge on the tower. It's too low of health. I'm a liar. I'm a liar. Big liar hits the tower. Hope Wings wasn't listening. So, Elixir Collector coming down. Here's the Miner. Oh, Bats are intercepting, but Bats are not ground troops, so the Miner does get a little bit of damage in there. Not much, though. Not as much as you want a Miner to get. So, Bandit's hitting the Electro Wizard. The Bats are going to clean it up. And it looks like Wings is largely going to get away with that pump. It took a little bit of damage from the Miner, but not the full health that you want if you are the Miner player in this sort of matchup. What Music Master might also want to start setting up for is he's going to need to drop a P.E.K.K.A. on the head of 2 Musketeers. Like, that's a great way to get these big counterattacks going. But it's really hard because it looks like Wings is in no rush to really play as 3 Musketeers. He's happy just to play this defensive style and cycle pumps. Ooh, Bandit charges on. Really great play there. But again, the thing doesn't die. How do you get a Miner and a Bandit on the Elixir Collector and it's still alive? But damage is still looking really good here. We're in double Elixir time. Wings does not have out, a lot of pumps. He's got, like, near dead of 1 pump. Music Master has not taken a bunch of damage, so we're actually pretty even here. Especially in double Elixir time, there's always the opportunity to turn around. Bats come down to defend, and once again do, I think, an insanely good job at stopping that. Wings is doing really well at defending his collectors. Really the challenge will be when it comes time to start playing these Musketeers like this, how can he get through the P.E.K.K.A.? So we've seen 2 of them go down right now. He might use a log here to finish off these 2. Another pump comes down for Wings. Huh. He puts the minions come down but almost immediately get killed. The Miner is blocked in the middle. Now we have 2 pumps out for Wings. And he's kind of behind in damage, but not significantly so. Ice Golem blocking for the Electro Wiz. Wings is winning on the left side, winning on the right side. Tower coming in, that's a good swarm, gets that down to 1349. Here comes the Miner in the back to try to stop it. Electro Wizard comes in the middle to block it, and that is a pristine Elixir Collector. Now, the Electro Wizard and the Miner are going to take some damage to the poison, but that means that Wings can maybe start playing the 3 Musketeers right now. But no, he's actually going for the aggro play, trying to overwhelm this P.E.K.K.A., and didn't work for him. Log plus some defense really worked out, and now we have a big, healthy P.E.K.K.A. coming back. 1 Musketeer on the P.E.K.K.A. side, 2 Musketeers on the other. Poison is now in hand for Music Master. We'll see if another... No, he doesn't have log in hand yet. Bandit comes down. There's the log. Is he going to log? He does. He got to finish it off. He still takes some damage, though. Goblins come down, turn around the Miner. And once again, Wings is really defending those pumps. I mean, I think he sees it as key to the matchup. He doesn't want any of these Miners to get through and kill one of those pumps. He wants to force his opponent to use poison on the pumps, because if you're using poison on the pumps, then you don't have it for the Musketeers. Bandit and Ice Golem come down for the block. Electro Wizard blocks it again. The problem is once he starts getting out 1 to 2 pumps, he just has such a huge Elixir advantage that even if he drops a pump and then you immediately are like, I'll throw a Miner, he has the extra Elixir to defend it with another troop. 3 pumps come down. We are at a minute 40 left until we go to a draw, but I don't think we're going to go to a draw. There's just too much action on the board right now. All 4 towers are heavily damaged. Musketeers are split in the back. Not much to stop those bandits, but the goblins do come down in time, pulling the bandit towards the middle. 1,500 on both towers, and we've got Musketeers on either side closing in. Great poison there on the right side, along with the Electro Wizard finishing off one of the Musketeers. P.E.K.K.A.'s going to block and stop that other Musketeer from being a problem, but Musketeers have already come back out. Wings have already cycled back to them. We are going into the last minute of this game. And that P.E.K.K.A. is dead, 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 dead. Log comes down on the right side, but the two Musketeers are going to finish off that Electro Wizard on the left. Miner comes down. Goblins clean up, and we got Goblins and Bats coming down the right side. The Goblins and Bats might lock in there. It's a race between the two sides, and the right side goes down first. Wings takes game 1 of this series, only 1 game away from moving on to fall season. So let's see what Music Master can do against Wings here. There's a little background on these players. Music Master, a longtime player of Silent, just qualified in for the CCGS this season due to age. An exceptional player who had been in Silent originally, and now he's been moving up to more of the pro champions. Wings was one of the spring season competitors who did so well. I was trying to comment on the Goblins, like, is the Goblins going to make it? They didn't. Wings is one of those players, like B-Rad, who did so much work in the spring season and just couldn't fall short. Wings was only one of 4 players in the entire world who made the finals of Elimination Week twice and could not close it out. B-Rad made the finals once, but made top 8 and top 4 like 5 or 6 times. But Wings made the finals twice, and both times got eliminated. I mean, crushing, right? So he is now only 1 game away from realizing his dream and moving on to fall. But what he's got to do is get through Music Master here. Music Master takes a little bit of damage on the opening minute exchange. Trying to decide if he wants to play a Bandit or if he wants to play the Elixir Collector. Goes with the Bandit. Bandit hits the Knight and is going to start counterattacking. Bats are coming down in the middle with him. Is that Bandit going to charge? No, it does not. The Electro Wizard blocks him. And the Electro Wizard has a good amount of health on the counterattack. Is he going to zap it? Yeah, zaps it so it doesn't get any damage. Great play by Wings. Timed it just right. I think normally the Electro Wizard would get like 1 attack in there, but I think he played it very, very well. Goblins clean up the Miner, and the Bandit is going to charge onto that left side tower now, unless the Electro Wizard has something to say about it. Goblins going for the counterattack, and one stab gets in there. Real ticky-tacky back and forth. When you're playing a Miner Poison deck, it's not about big pushes. It's not about getting a tank and following it up with a whole bunch of stuff. It is just about, I mean, 1 attack at a time. One thing, 1 Miner, 1 Poison, 1 Zap. Getting your damage in when you can. Knight's coming down. Poison is going to hold, or the Knight's going to hold them in place and let the Poison finish them off. So 2 Musketeers go down. Bandit's going to answer the other Musketeer. Miner comes down, but oof. Wings did 2 good things there. There was already a Bandit blocking it, so he didn't have to worry about answering the Miner, and he played the Elixir Collector right after, knowing that there's no Miner to come in for the Elixir Collector. So Poison comes down, and that gives Wings an opening. Now, I mean, we're in double Elixir time, right? So he's got all the Elixir in the world. I said give him an opening to play 3 Musketeers, but he's not doing it. I'm not really sure why. I don't know what I'm missing. I wants to just put him in the back. I guess he wanted to keep up the Bandit pressure as much as possible, or otherwise not play stuff till it was really coming in on his side. Poison comes down again. But see, I wanted him to split it earlier because then he'd get around the Poison cycle. But maybe he's not worried about it. Wings won first game very late in overtime with 3 pumps on the board. So maybe he just wants to stick with the Elixir Collector plan. He thinks, like, the only way I can lose this game is if I don't stick to the pump plan. So let me just make sure that I'm defending and pumping. That would make sense to me. We are in overtime now. 16:55 on the left side, 16:66 on the right. Oh, I'm sorry. Left side, both towers. Bandit and Electro Wizard are coming in. Another pump comes down. The Bandit is pretty much... Okay, now here comes the Knight. The Knight's going to finish off the Electro Wizard and finish off the Bandit. That is why he is a premier defensive troop. Ice Golem, too. Ice Golem and Knight have been very, very popular in this metagame because of their ability to block incoming, especially those kind of smaller, medium-sized characters. Bandit's coming in, going to charge onto the Electro Wizard. Wow, goes right past the Knight, hits the Electro Wizard. That is huge. And now we have an Electro Wizard, Ice Golem, and Musketeer coming in. He puts the Goblins in after. We just saw the log, so you know there's no log coming in right after. He has to use the Poison at the river, not really where you want to see it. And that means that, okay, Musketeer's going to get 1 shot, Bandit's playing a few, and now you can see Wings, he already has his finger on the 3 Musketeers. We know there is no more Poison coming down, and it's already out. So Music Master's got to figure out another way to do this. Goblins are splitting either way. Bat's going with the other side. Log comes down on the 1 Goblin side. Bandit charges in there, and the Musketeer survives. Ooh! But blocked again. Music Master is not going away easily, but it looks like this might be it here. Wings takes the game and moves on to fall season. Wings realizes the dream. Congratulations, buddy. Music Master, Music Master, Music Master, and Lenny. Lenny down at the bottom. Music Master plays violin and piano. He is a master of music. Both players thinking about what to do at 10. They're both hovering minor. They're both like thinking about minoring each other. And when Lenny takes the trigger and decides to minor, Music Master switches to defense. Now expect a minor to come down on offense here, eat that Ice Spirit, and then otherwise tank for the minions. Good job on minions coming in behind. We'll see if any get onto the tower. He uses the zap to clear him out and gets a little bit of damage. Actually, more than a little. Over 500 damage dealt to Lenny's tower there on that first exchange. Great timing on the zap. Froze the tower for a second and allowed your minions to kill a few of the defending ones. Knight comes down with the Electro Wizard behind it. Fireball comes down and pushes the Electro Wizard forward into the tower. And I don't think that Mega Minion is actually going to be a threat. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. behind it might be, though. Okay, Ice Spirit's going to freeze it, so that Mega Minion definitely isn't doing anything. And now Minions or P.E.K.K.A. He's going to play Big P.E.K.K.A. Big P.E.K.K.A. to Little P.E.K.K.A. Mom squishes child. Blech. More at 11. And Lenny wants to back that up. Now he's got a really good chance for a big push here. He's going to use Poison. Oh no, that's exactly what you don't want to see, is the Ice Golem taking your P.E.K.K.A. for a walk. Ice Golem played right in the middle there, leaning towards the other lane, is going to walk away from the P.E.K.K.A. and drags it into the opposite lane. Eventually, it does go towards the tower, but the Mega Minion's already locked onto it. I don't think it's even going to hit. Oh, joke's on me! One hit for Lenny onto Music Master's tower, and the balloon is coming on the other side, but the minions and the Electro Wizard are right there waiting for it. And that balloon does not... Well, I guess it gets the death damage, but that's about it. Defensive Fireball. Minor pops up now. 3 Elixir comes down for Music Master. Gets that Minor in the sky, cleans it out, and the Knight is also not going to fight the minions, so the minions are going to take those out. Music Master's tower, though, down to 1,400 on the dot. Does he throw a Minor on the counterattack? He does not. Minor's out of cycle for me. He'd already used it, so Ice Spirit's going to take those things down. Lenny invests a P.E.K.K.A. in the back, and that is the signal for Music Master to go all in with his balloon. The Mega Minion is caught up on the Knight. You want him to be killing the minions! The balloon is not going to make it there. The death damage is what you're going to have to settle for. Minor comes down for Lenny, blocking the tower, allowing the Electro Wizard some openings, but it already had taken so much damage. The Ice Golem goes on the P.E.K.K.A. side, means he's not going to take the P.E.K.K.A. for a walk. Knight blocks the Minor. Nothing is blocking that Mini P.E.K.K.A. though. Something has to go down. Oh no, Mini P.E.K.K.A. one hits Electro Wizard though, so that's a 4 Elixir road bump. Here we are. We are 9 seconds away from overtime. Very close. Every tower, all 4 towers have taken a significant amount of damage. The tower, though, that Lenny is working on right now is the lowest. 904 left on that tower. Music Master's going in with another balloon, this time playing same push again. Ice Spirit jumps in, and I think that balloon is also not long for this world. Those Electro Wizard, great job by Lenny, holding his Electro Wizard, holding his minions, just really not using them for anything except for stopping the balloon. He knows that if he can just keep getting in this like minor poison sort of push, he'll be in good shape. 648 there. Just needs to get a few more minor poison cycles to pull this one off. Minor comes down, Electro Wizard blocking that there tower. Fireball comes in, takes out the Electro Wizard. That balloon's getting really close. Zap pulls it down. No! Oh, Music Master's gonna win this game. Music Master's gonna win the game. 425, 330. This thing's gonna blow up. Oh! That was so close. I was getting nervous because Music Master's Death Bomb had to go off for him to win that. But there's a 3-second delay on that Death Bomb. If it had waited longer, then I think Lenny's minions would have taken the tower. But deep in overtime, Music Master pulls out game 1. All right, opening up here. Lenny's got the P.E.K.K.A. So if he sees that early Minor, he does have the way to start building it, but last game, Lenny started off the aggro. So let's see what happens here. Music Master starts with a nice Spirit. That's kind of a feint play. Like, it's not a real play because it only costs 1 Elixir. It's really just a cycle. It does do damage if they ignore it, but, like, if I play a 1-cost Ice Spirit and then you play, like, a 4-cost Troop in defense, I'm happy. I'm like, yes, I baited you into playing a bigger card so I can now defend against it. The Minor's going to get in for Music Master and do the full damage, get that thing down, about 500 health. Knight and minions are defending. Poison comes down there for Lenny, working that tower down. Electro Wizard gets the big old block. Does take a lot of damage, though, for that block. It's a little bit on the Bandit, but not too much, and that's a mostly full health Bandit on the counterattack, but a Knight is already hovered for Lenny to block it. And the Ice Spirit's freezing the Bandit, giving the Knight a little bit more health on the counterattack. And once again, Miner's going to come down. Minions intercept it. Are we going to see a poison? We do not. Music Master had exactly like 4 elixir. He did not want to spend it there on the poison. Instead, he's going to try to cycle. We do see the Knight and the Electro Wizard, and the Miner has to come in on defensive duty. Not where the Miner wants to be. Not exactly the best defensive card in Clash Royale. And the Electro Wizard does get 1 shot on the tower, bringing Lenny's tower down to 1663. 1, 2, jumps again. Those Ice Spirits are like, it's not, you don't really want to react to it, but if I'm Music Master, I'm happy to do 100 damage for 1 elixir. That's a good exchange. I'd do that. If I only had to spend 15 elixir, or 25 elixir to knock down a tower, that'd be alright. We end up spending way more than that over the course of a game. Log comes down to get a little bit more chip damage on the tower. Lenny invests the P.E.K.K.A. I think he knows that really his only, not his only chance, but he's losing badly right now. To turn this around, he needs one of these big pushes. The downside is that Music Master has Inferno Tower, so we're seeing Lenny account for that. He puts the Knight up front. He's got the Miner as well, and he's got the Minions behind it. So he's clearly putting a lot of stuff in the way, trying to take out that Inferno Tower before the P.E.K.K.A. dies to it. And it's successful. We have a P.E.K.K.A. that has half health, still bearing down on a tower. 6 more elixir has to be played. Almost the entire cost of the P.E.K.K.A. has to be played to stop that P.E.K.K.A. after all the other tricks. So let's see if this next P.E.K.K.A. is a little more successful at getting through. A little damage got onto the tower from the poison and a few other stuff. And this time he's building it up again. Electro Wizard at the river. Going to get countered by Lenny's Electro Wizard. And Minions will probably be played in the middle. Minor poison pops up and the Minions come right after. The Electro Wizard was out of hand, so he has to play a poison of his own. But that Inferno Tower is down! So now we have a P.E.K.K.A. and an Electro Wizard. P.E.K.K.A. Electro Wizard couldn't survive. But the P.E.K.K.A. still has full health once again. And it's doing a lot of damage to stuff on that side. I mean, yeah, there's more troops being played by Music Master, but he has to play a lot to keep this P.E.K.K.A. off of this tower, and his Inferno Towers are largely getting countered for less elixir. Miner comes in for Lenny. And the Bandit charges in front. That's very useful because you want the Bandit tanking instead. Lenny blocks with the Knight once again, and the damage is actually evening up in Lenny's favor. He's starting to pull it a little closer with each of these exchanges. Double elixir time has been very favorable to him. Miner locks onto the tower, nothing to block there. He's going to play a defensive mine. Why didn't he play the P.E.K.K.A. there? So there's another one, right? Like, I think that would... He had the elixir for P.E.K.K.A. and opts to play Minions instead, but he's playing Minions into a poison that's already there. I think if Lenny wanted to win that game, the way to go about it is actually just to defend with the P.E.K.K.A.s and build up counterattacks from that. We have another Miner coming in. Log gets a little more chip damage onto the tower, and Music Master is very close. 1 poison comes down, taking out the Minions as well. He is just 1 log or 1 Miner or 1 poison away from moving on to the next stage of the CCGS Fall Season Championships. Come on, Music Master, you can do it. 1 Miner hit, boom, does it. Music Master joins wings, and we have our Fall Season Top 10. And at the end of NA Elimination Week, we have our Fall Top 10. C. McHugh and Oxalate from Spring Season will be returning, joined by 8 other players. We have Music Master, Wings, Trainer Lewis, B-Rad, Colton, Bernstein Cat, J. Monty, and Crap. Don't forget to tune in September 14th, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the first week of North American Crown Championship Fall Season play. I'll be there casting the games alongside the rest of the great CCGS casting crew. You are about to see some of the best players in all of North America. Don't forget to tune in September 14th, 6 p.m. Pacific. See you there.